Chotin, once a simple mortal, had now reached his 100th year. Today marked the end of his long life. Surrounded by his descendants, he spoke his final words. After giving his last instructions, he closed his eyes and peacefully departed. But before his spirit could fade away, something extraordinary happened. The system appeared. The subject has fulfilled the requirement for number of descendants. Initiating system reward. From that moment on, Chotin's journey on the path of immortal cultivation began. As time passed, his descendants multiplied, and with each day, Chotin himself grew stronger. Far away, on a towering mountain shrouded in drifting white clouds, birds soared across the sky. Echoing voices resounded in unison, chanting, "Old ancestor, rest in peace as you descend to the golden springs." The solemn voices carried across the majestic peaks. Generations of the Tio family bowed in reverence before the coffin. The scene was heavy with sorrow. Paper money fluttered in the wind, and strips of white cloth swayed mournfully. In this new world, I awoke with no innate talent, no aptitude for cultivation. I was nothing but a mortal. Yet, through countless marriages, children, and blessings, I laid the foundation of the Tio family. Lying weakly on the bed, I gazed at the thriving legacy before me. In a faint whisper to the attendant by my side, I said, "Leaves always return to their roots. Even though I lacked the power to change this world, at least the world could not change me." The person beside me raised a trembling hand, wiping away tears. "Master, your daughter-in-law in the third room is giving birth today, so she could not be here. But the rest of the Tio family is gathered. If you have any final instructions, please speak. This servant will carry them out." I closed my eyes briefly, reflecting. Spring comes and goes. People leave, and others remain. Looking over my descendants one last time, I whispered softly, "All is well." Summoning the last of my strength, I asked, "Has the newborn child been given a name?" The mother and infant knelt before me. After a long pause, I declared my final command. "Our Tio family flourishes and prospers. Let this child be named Tio Hoha." The housekeeper was momentarily stunned by my choice of name. Then, at last, I closed my eyes and departed. Everyone, high and low alike, cried out in unison, "Master, rest in eternal peace." But at that instant, a voice resounded within my mind. Descendant with spiritual roots detected. Tuaha has been born. My eyes shot open. The system of 10,000 prosperous affairs officially activated. Visions flooded my mind. As long as one grandchild is born each year, the system will grant supreme cultivation techniques, divine bone essence, sacred pills, celestial weapons, unparalleled opportunities, and 9-star clouds endless, top-tier rewards. I sat upright suddenly, heart pounding, mind brimming with questions. The housekeeper, startled by my sudden revival, cried out in shock. The mother and child beside him froze, their eyes wide with disbelief. From outside the courtyard, the rest of the family heard the commotion. Bursting into tears of joy, they shouted, "The old ancestor lives! The old ancestor lives!" The housekeeper quickly tore down the white mourning cloths. With a firm voice, he declared, "This funeral never happened." A gentle breeze swept through the chamber, rustling the air around the coffin. Outside, 2 young men whispered to one another in disbelief. Could it be? Is the old ancestor still alive? Or is this just his final surge of energy before the end? Could it really be happening again? Meanwhile, I sat quietly on the bed, staring at my withered hands. A wave of anger and confusion surged within me. What in the world is this 10,000 prosperous affairs system? And why? Why does it only awaken when I'm already 100 years old? The system displayed a notification, and the host quickly opened the new player gift. Congratulations, host. You have received 3,650 days of longevity. Another notification appeared. Congratulations, host. You have obtained the Supreme Chaos Spiritual Root. The messages kept coming one after another. Congratulations, host. You have acquired the Supreme Immortal Cultivation Manual, the Great Dream Purple Chest Scripture. Immediately, a book appeared before him, glowing with profound energy. The system then announced again. Congratulations, host. You have received 55 cultivation levels. Please consolidate your cultivation. In front of him, a red ball of spiritual energy began to gather. That energy enveloped him, seeping into his body before being absorbed into the center of his forehead. A bright red spirit stone materialized there, shining brilliantly. Spiritual energy flowed around it, bathing his entire body in a radiant glow. Suddenly, the spirit stone, containing 55 levels of cultivation, blazed with dazzling light. The energy spiraled around him, transforming his body. His aged, wrinkled hands smoothed and regained their youthful appearance. The housekeeper, witnessing this miraculous change, cried out in astonishment. "This is the supreme Tao meteor. When I once traveled abroad, I had the fortune to see it. This is a heaven-sent opportunity." His eyes gleamed with excitement as he declared, "The old ancestor has awakened. At the brink of life and death, you have stepped onto the path of immortal cultivation. Heaven has opened its eyes. Heaven has saved the Teo family." The spirit stone continued to hover as the system chimed again. "Congratulations, host. You have broken through to Kai refining, first layer." Almost instantly another notification followed. "Congratulations, host. You have broken through to Kai refining, second layer, third layer." In just a few seconds, Tutron had advanced all the way to the 9th layer. His entire body rejuvenated. His hair turned black once more, his face regained youthful contours, and his health was completely restored. "Congratulations, host. You have broken through to Foundation Establishment." Opening his eyes, he gazed at his transformed body, his hands trembling as he muttered in disbelief. Foundation Establishment. His crystal-like hands gleamed, and he clenched his fists with joy. 9 layers in a single day, and straight into Foundation Establishment, as expected of the system. The old housekeeper fell to his knees and bowed deeply. "Congratulations, Master, on entering the path of immortal cultivation." All of his descendants followed suit, bowing one after another. "Congratulations, Master, on entering the path of immortal cultivation." Tutron rose and looked over his family with a calm smile. "Each time the clan welcomes a child, I will be rewarded again. Longevity, the chance to live on. My children are already 70 years old, so there is little to expect from them now." Suddenly, his eyes brightened. "But my grandsons are only 50. They still have time to contribute." Realizing this, Tutron burst into hearty laughter, clearly satisfied. The great-grandsons are still young as well. They must work tirelessly, day and night, to continue sowing seeds for the clan's future. He reached out, pulling the housekeeper up and patting him kindly on the shoulder. "Pass down my order," he commanded cheerfully. Stretching his hand forward, he proclaimed, "The future of myself and the entire Teo clan depends on this. Let the younger generations diligently bear children for me." Time passed swiftly. 10 years later, the Teo mansion had grown into a place of magnificence and grandeur. Its furnishings gleamed with luxury, befitting a powerful household. Behind the mountain, Tutron, now the head of the family, sat calmly sipping tea. Before him stood his eldest son, Teo Lop, bowing respectfully. "Father, in accordance with your command, our family has worked tirelessly to expand. Now, there is a small wedding every 3 days, and a grand wedding every 7. The Teo family has become famous far and wide as a great household renowned for taking wives. Within a distance of 15 units, we are unmatched in population." Thus, the Teo clan rose to prominence in Liu City. The young man standing beside him was his descendant, Teo Hu. The family head frowned slightly, then opened his personal information. The system interface appeared. Initiating family harmony, all things prosper system. Host, Nam Tutren. Age, 110 out of 500. Cultivation, Golden Core, 3rd layer. Descendants, 330. Cultivation method, Great Dream Purple Chief Scripture. Proficiency, Sword Techniques. Specialization, First Class Superior Lu Res Sword Technique, 3rd Class Technique. Spiritual Root, Superior Spiritual Root, Supreme Chaos Spiritual Root. Treasures, Elixir of Youthful Appearance 4 stars, Longevity Pill 5 stars, Foundation Establishment Pill Supreme Quality 1 star. He quietly reflected on his accomplishments over the past 15 years. For all this time, he had never left home. To the people of Lure City, he might as well have been dead, but that suited him perfectly. Seclusion and a peaceful life were what he cherished most. Even reaching 100 years of age before acquiring a system had only strengthened his respect for life. At that moment, the old housekeeper, Uncle Fu, entered and knelt respectfully. Old ancestor, the Nalan family has come to annul the engagement. Nam Tutran's frown deepened. Annul the engagement? His eldest son, Tiep, stepped forward with Tio, who by his side. Tiep spoke coldly. Father, the Nalan family is being outrageous. Just then, the system reappeared. Congratulations, host's grandson, Tio, who has had his engagement annulled. Activating choice function. Choice 1. Endure the humiliation of the broken engagement. Reward, 100,000 lower grade spirit stones. Choice 2. Counterattack with strength and take the initiative to divorce. Reward, Yan Emperor's destiny. Nam Tutran stared at the system, incredulous. These choices? And what is the Yan Emperor's destiny? The system responded. Yan Emperor's destiny, a legacy of an ancient god. After the Yan Emperor descended into the mortal realm, the vast, mysterious power accumulated throughout his life remained. This power can elevate the quality of the user's spiritual root and may also be bestowed upon others. He fell silent as he processed the information. His son and Uncle Fu exchanged worried glances, fearing that the old ancestor had been so angered by the annulment that his mind had become clouded. Nam Tutran finally turned to his eldest son. Tiep was an ordinary man without a spiritual root incapable of cultivation. If the Tio family were to grow into a clan of 10,000, or even 100,000, it would have to depend on future generations like Tio who could cultivate. At last, he spoke. Laya, my child, do you know anything about the King Lan sect on Mount King Lan? Tiep respectfully replied. Father, from what I understand, the King Lan sect's leader is a powerful cultivator, close to entering the Golden Core realm. Nam Tutran's expression darkened. So, that's it. The Nalan family dares to bully the Tio family because they rely on the King Lan sect leader, who is about to advance to the Golden Core stage. Truly, they are seeking death. With his hands clasped behind his back, he glanced at his son. As the Tio family's old ancestor, he himself had already reached the Golden Core stage. He stepped forward and placed a reassuring hand on Tio Hu's shoulder. Do not worry. The old ancestor will personally intervene on your behalf. Tio Hu was moved to tears and bowed in gratitude. Meanwhile, in the front hall of the Tio family residence, a man sat arrogantly in a chair, his tone filled with anger. What is the meaning of this? The Tio family has kept us waiting for far too long. The speaker was none other than the Nalan clan leader, Han Gu. Sitting beside him was Tio's former fiancée, Nalan Yun. Han Gu sneered. Yuner has already become the final disciple accepted by the King Lan sect leader. As for that Tio, he's nothing more than an ordinary man. He is unworthy of Yuner. The Nalan servants echoed their master's disdain, their expressions filled with contempt. Indeed, he cannot compare. Surely the Tio family is plotting some excuse to hold onto the engagement. They even claim to be consulting their so-called old ancestor. Han Gu laughed coldly. Their old ancestor has been dead for 10 years. Just then, Tiop walked into the hall with the support of a cane. At his side stood Tio, who, steadying him. "Brother Hangu, you've been waiting a long time," Tiop said evenly. Hangu looked them over and smirked. "Not bad. I see Tio, who has a fine appearance and a polite demeanor. On the surface, it seems like a good match. But alas, it's a pity. I wonder whether the Tio family's old ancestor would agree to dissolving the engagement." With that, he placed a jade bottle on the table. "This is a pill personally refined by Yunar's master, a supreme quality marrow pill." He turned away and said calmly, "Consider this as compensation from the Nalan family to the Cho family." TP's face darkened. The Nalan family truly knows how to play their cards. Offering immortal pills just to dissolve an engagement face and favor. They want it all. Watching the group leave, he thought bitterly, in the end, they still want the Tio family to owe them a favor. Such calculated scheming. Behind the mountain, Tio Chan observed with his divine sense, fully aware of what was happening in the Cho family's front hall. He snorted. To think they rely on a mere bottle of medicine to act so arrogantly. Holding a teacup, he smiled faintly, then transmitted a message to his grandson, "Your turn now." Upon receiving it, Tio stepped forward boldly and declared, "Clan leader Nalan, you should take this bottle of immortal pills back for Nan Yun to use. As for breaking off the engagement, our family absolutely does not agree." The Nalan clan leader and Nan Yun halted in their tracks. The clan leader's face darkened, and with anger he slammed his cane against the floor. "Tio, you insolent brat, it's not your place to speak. Keep your mouth shut." Yet Tio showed no fear. Slowly, he stepped forward, standing firmly before them. Looking directly at Nan Yun, he asked, "Miss Nan Yun, may I know whether breaking off the engagement is your decision or your clan leader's?" Nan Yun answered without hesitation. "Of course, it is my own wish. My master does not want me bound to an ordinary person who cannot cultivate. It would only hinder my progress." She frowned at him, her tone cold. "The gap between us, you of all people should understand it best." Behind the mountain, Chotran snorted, while Tio immediately replied, "Miss Nan Yun, as the granddaughter of a great clan, do you not realize how shameful it is to come here personally and annul an engagement? If I agree, what future standing will the Tio family have in Liu City? How could we ever face Qing Yun Mountain again?" Enraged, Nan Yun pointed at him and scolded, "You are just an ordinary man. What right do you have to dictate terms to me?" Taller than her, Tio looked down, his eyes sharp. "Nan Yun, you claim I'm unworthy of an immortal cultivator like you. But aside from your reliance on the Qing Yun sect, what else do you truly have? And how can you be so certain I am only ordinary?" His gaze grew fiercer. Then he declared proudly, "I have already embarked on the path of immortal cultivation." As he spoke, his body released a surge of power, the unmistakable aura of the Kai refining stage, 4th level. Gasps of shock erupted all around. Stage 4 of Kai refining? It was only one level lower than the personal disciple of Qing Lan sect's leader, Nalan Yun. The Nalan clan leader and Nan Yun stood frozen in disbelief. How can this be? Nan Yun stared at Tio, her eyes wide. He radiated strength, his presence dazzling, his figure strikingly handsome. For a moment, she was utterly stunned. After a long pause, she finally spoke, pointing toward the sky. "Very well. I can postpone breaking off the engagement, but only under one condition." "What condition?" Tio asked without hesitation. Her voice was firm. "The engagement will be delayed for 10 years. In 10 years' time, you must come to Qing Lan sect and challenge me. If you lose, I will dissolve the engagement personally, and it will remain between us. That way, your Tio family will not be implicated. Do you dare accept?" Tio's expression turned proud as he waved his hand. "My ancestor once taught me never look down on a poor youth. Very well, I agree." The Nalan clan leader leaned on his cane, his eyes fixed on Tio. At that moment, Tio-chan raised his hand and declared loudly, "Well said, truly well said. You are worthy of being a descendant of the Tio family." Nan Yun trembled with fury. "You nothing more than a fourth-stage Kai refining cultivator dare to lecture me?" She pointed at him, her voice sharp and filled with scorn. "Within 15 years, I will make you kneel before me and beg for mercy." He responded firmly, "There's no need for 15 years. Reaching into his chest, he pulled out a folded piece of paper. Lifting his hand to his mouth, he bit his finger, letting blood well up, and pressed it onto the page. Holding it up before her, he declared, "This is not the letter you wanted to break off the engagement. This is the Tio family's divorce letter to you." On the paper, the word divorce stood boldly, sealed with his bloodied fingerprint. "From this day forward, the Nalan family and Nalan Yun have no ties whatsoever to me, Xiao, or the Xia family." Nalan Yun froze as she saw the divorce document. Covering her mouth in disbelief, she stammered, "How dare you write me a divorce letter?" The moment hung heavy in silence. Both families watched the scene unfold, speechless. On the opposite side, Xia Jan calmly raised his teacup and smiled faintly. At the same time, the system displayed a message, "Congratulations to the host. The second choice has been successfully completed. Reward granted, the Flame Emperor's fate." A spirit stone radiating intense firelight materialized in his palm. Turning it over thoughtfully, he muttered, "Not bad at all." After speaking, Xiao gave an order, "See the guests out." Leaning on his cane, Shai added with a smirk, "Oh yes, don't forget to take your priceless top-grade marrow cleansing pills with you." The head of the Nalan family let out a cold snort and turned away in frustration. Meanwhile, on Wind Mountain, the air blew desolate and sharp. Zion, clutching the fiery spirit stone, called out warmly, "Good grandson, come here. Great-grandfather has a gift for you. Relax your spirit." Xia, who hurried forward, bowing, "Thank you, great-grandfather." With care, Zion pressed the spirit stone against Xiao's abdomen. The system displayed, name, Xiao, race, human, realm, Kai refining, stage 4, spirit root, 2nd grade, special, Flame Emperor's fate not yet eligible for activation. Although nothing changed in his cultivation, and the Flame Emperor's fate could not yet be activated, Zion said with encouragement, "All right, I've used a secret technique to enhance the quality of your spirit root. But there is one condition: you must work hard in cultivation to make use of this gift. Otherwise, incidents like today will keep happening. Do you understand?" The boy nodded earnestly. "I understand, ancestor." "Good." He patted his shoulder with approval. "Now, go cultivate." Time slipped by, and soon a year had passed. Behind the mountain, Kron was deeply focused on cultivation when the ground of Chingan Mountain suddenly trembled violently. Alarmed, he leapt to his feet, soaring swiftly toward the disturbance. Something rare and extraordinary had appeared. The system chimed in, "Congratulations, host. You have discovered a rare treasure. Please choose an option." Frowning, he stroked his chin as he rode his sword through the sky. Choice 1. Seal off all of Qingyun Mountain with Golden Core Stage 3 cultivation and claim the treasure alone. Reward, top grade level 5 magical treasure. Choice 2. Pretend ignorance and let others fight over it without revealing your identity. Reward, top grade level 3 magical treasure. Without hesitation, he selected the second choice. It suited him better. Keeping a low profile is far wiser. The system responded, "Congratulations, host. You have chosen option 2. Reward granted. Top grade level 3 magical treasure, flowing cloud armor." A golden light wrapped around his hand before enveloping his entire body. The translucent armor shimmered like flowing clouds. He examined it with satisfaction. The armor would fit his body perfectly. hidden as an inner garment under normal circumstances, only manifesting when danger struck. Activating sword flight, he turned back toward home. As the wind rushed past, he thought to himself, the system really wanted me to trap myself by sealing Qingyan Mountain. That would have been suicide. Quiet cultivation in the shadows is enough. When the time comes, future generations will continue to thrive. The future promises boundless skies and limitless possibilities. Magical treasures, cultivation advancements, all of them will one day belong to me. A long life surrounded by children and grandchildren will bring happiness. But above all else, this is the greatest goal worth striving for. At dawn, on a bustling street, a scholar exclaimed loudly, "Did anyone see the dazzling purple light last night? Such brilliance must surely signal the presence of a rare treasure." A bystander immediately responded, "I saw it as well. I stepped outside after quarreling with my wife, and right above the mountain, I witnessed it with my own eyes. I can't help but wonder which deity could have left such a gift behind." Another voice quickly chimed in, "We're heading up the mountain to search for it. Do you want to join us?" The man beside him nodded. "Of course, if we truly discover a treasure, it will be like ascending to the heavens themselves. Let's hurry gather as many people as possible. We cannot allow the Wang family to seize the advantage. Brothers, this is our Chen family's chance. If we succeed, our rise will be unstoppable." Crowds quickly gathered, each group shouting fiercely. One side bellowed, "The Hang family is invincible. Brothers, will we allow the Lu family to trample over us?" The other group, no less competitive, shouted back, "This treasure belongs to our Hang family alone. No one else can claim it." Meanwhile, outside Liu City, behind the mountain belonging to the Xiao family, a horse-drawn carriage approached swiftly. Within it sat Xiao Chen's eldest son, the current head of the family Xia Lai. Restlessly tapping his cane, he urged the driver forward with impatience. The carriage soon stopped at the cultivation grounds behind the Xiao estate. Xia Lai stepped down and entered respectfully, calling out, "Father." Inside, his father was absorbed in writing. Without raising his head, he asked calmly, "Ah, Lear, what troubles you so much that you appear in such haste? Sit down and speak." With a wave of spiritual energy, he guided his son gently into a seat. As soon as Xia Lai sat, the support faded. The elder son glanced down, reminded that despite being 80 years old, he still required his father's strength. Yet his father looked vigorous, far younger and healthier than him. Taking a deep breath, Xia Lai reported, "Father, last night a mysterious purple light appeared over Mount Qing. They say it's a treasure. Early this morning, every major family from around the city has already sent people to search for it. Even the smaller clans of Liu City have joined in. Our Xiao family has a spirit root. This treasure must not fall into the hands of others." He thought silently to himself, "As long as father agrees, I'll gather our people and set out immediately." His father, Xiaoan, calmly lifted a teacup and walked over to him. "Lear, don't be rash. Do you still remember the lessons I drilled into you as a child?" Xia Lai nodded earnestly. "Of course. You always taught us to act only after careful thought, to plan before moving." "That is correct," Xiaoan said with a firm gaze. "And because of that, our Xiao family must not get involved in this matter." Xia Lai's expression shifted. "But father..." Xiaoan raised a hand, cutting him off. "Lear, we are ordinary people. Treasures like these are far beyond our reach. Even if we were fortunate enough to claim it, we would only face the endless greed of rival families. Why waste lives on such a futile struggle? Better to remain still and watch quietly. When they've fought each other into exhaustion, we may reap the fisherman's benefit." Though dissatisfied, Xia Lai bowed his head. "I understand, father. I will obey." Yet deep inside, he could not agree with his father's cautious approach. Xiaoan then said firmly, "For our Xiao family, the most important matter is to continue our bloodline. That is our true path forward. Go now." Yes, father, Xia Lai replied, though unease still lingered in his heart. 3 days later, at the back mountain of the Xiao estate, Zhao Chen sat calmly before the door, cultivating in silence. Extending his divine sense, he sensed a familiar presence drawing near. It was none other than Xia Lai, walking slowly with his cane. Zhao Chen smiled faintly and, with a flick of his hand, released a stream of spiritual energy. It enveloped his eldest son, lifting him effortlessly and bringing him directly before him, much to Xia Lai's surprise. Father extended his divine sense, instantly moving me right before him. His ability left me deeply impressed. Stepping forward, I bowed respectfully as he spoke. The news of a treasure appearing on Mount Qinggan has already reached the ears of the Qinglam sect. They have dispatched 20 immortals to seal off the entire mountain. The descendants of various families who ventured there in search of fortune have all been captured, tortured, and ultimately silenced by their hands. Zhao Chen rose, anger flashing in his eyes. The Qinglam sect claims to walk the righteous path, yet their hearts are steeped in cruelty. Simply for the sake of a treasure, they resort to mercilessly slaughtering innocent people. Father nodded gravely. Remember the broken engagement with Xia Hu? That incident alone revealed more of the Qinglam sect's true nature. For now, our Xia family must remain low-key, hiding our abilities and avoiding unnecessary conflict. Only when our descendants flourish and grow in number can the Xia family's legacy continue for generations. Without this, everything we've built will vanish in vain. He gently patted his son's shoulder. Shai bowed deeply. Father is wise. I understand. After that, he asked for permission to withdraw. Time flowed swiftly, and half a year soon passed. The system's voice appeared once again. Congratulations. The host's descendants have now reached 400. A choice is available. Option 1. Condemn a person to be forsaken by heaven and earth. Secretly infiltrate Mount Qinggan to search for treasure. Reward: 1 medium-grade spirit stone. Option 2. Develop steadily without competing against the world, avoiding risk. Reward: 1 low-grade spirit vein. He rubbed his chin thoughtfully. To venture into Mount Qinggan now is far too dangerous. The Qinglam sect has surrounded the entire mountain. Though no treasures have been uncovered yet, a lone man cannot oppose so many. It is wiser to remain cautious. Without hesitation, he chose the second path, to grow steadily, focusing on strengthening the Xia family through countless descendants. That was his true purpose. As he sat cross-legged in meditation, the system's voice echoed once more. Congratulations on your choice. System reminder: by planting a spirit vein upon any ordinary mountain range, spiritual energy will flow underground. He immediately pressed his palm against the mountain behind the Xia family. Placement confirmed. Spirit vein successfully rooted. At once, spiritual energy surged violently, diffusing through the land. Zhao En smiled with joy. The spiritual Kai of heaven and earth is so dense it nearly forms a mist. Sitting down again, he declared, "It is time to enter closed-door cultivation." Meanwhile, on Mount Qinggan, a blood-curdling scream rang out. A cultivator was slashed by a sword, blood spraying across the ground as countless onlookers recoiled in horror. The man behind the act was none other than Qinglam sect elder, Lun Feng. Clutching his sword, he addressed the trembling captives. "Watch closely. This is the fate of those who slack off and shirk their duties." Several men collapsed to the ground in terror. He continued coldly, "If any of you dare to be lazy again, this will be your end." Sheathing his sword with a harsh motion, his expression suddenly changed. A powerful surge of heaven and earth's spiritual energy brushed against his senses. In an instant, he leapt into the branches of a nearby tree, scanning the horizon. "Elder Lun, what troubles you?" someone below asked. His gaze sharpened. "This immense fluctuation of spiritual energy, it's coming from behind the Xia family's mountain." He turned back briefly. Continue monitoring the strong young men from the other families. I'll investigate the source of this surge." Without another word, he flew swiftly toward the Shia family's lands. The closer he drew, the stronger and wilder the spiritual energy became. His heart pounded with excitement, though he forced himself to remain calm. "I must suppress my aura and conceal my presence," he thought. "Ordinary lives are nothing before me, but if other cultivators appear, carelessness could cost everything." Zion was deep in cultivation when the system abruptly warned him, detected Qinglam sect elder Li Shunfang approaching. His expression darkened in irritation. "Who dares disturb me while I'm absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth?" As Li Shunfang drew closer, the system's choice function activated. Zion hesitated only a moment before selecting. First, observe quietly. Don't act rashly. Li Shunfang eventually arrived at the mountain behind the Zai family estate. He raised his hand to probe the area, but to his surprise, detected no other cultivators. With a sudden leap, he ascended into the air and gazed down from above. His eyes widened in disbelief. A low-grade spirit vein. If the sect leader learns that I've discovered this, my promotion to Grand Elder will be within reach. I might even secure priority access to the spirit vein itself. With that, advancing to the Golden Core stage would be effortless. I must report this to the Qinglam sect immediately. Before he could act further, Zion employed an illusion and appeared before him. "Fellow Taoist, where do you come from?" Li Shunfang froze, startled that someone had evaded his probing technique. A flicker of unease stirred in his chest. Quickly, he clasped his hands in greeting. "I did not realize this cultivation ground was already claimed. I have intruded by mistake. I am Li Shunfang, elder of the Qinglam sect. It seems fate has brought us together today. May this fellow Taoist be willing to show himself." Zion finally revealed himself with a faint smile. "So, it is fellow Taoist Li. This old man is Zai Hao." Inwardly, Zion smirked. He had casually fabricated the name to buy time and find a way to send the intruder away. Li Shunfang's eyes narrowed slightly. Though he avoided my probe, proving his strength surpasses mine. It shouldn't be by much. If he were truly powerful, I'd already be dead. This name, Zai Hao, is unfamiliar. He must be a rogue cultivator. Barging into another's cultivation ground is a grave taboo. If he were truly strong, he'd strike me down without hesitation. No matter, if I kill him by surprise, this spirit vein will be mine. With it, I'll reach the Golden Core stage and secure the title of Grand Elder. Feigning respect, Li Shunfang retrieved a jade bottle from his robe. "Senior, this is my top-grade marrow cleansing pill. Today I intruded upon your domain by mistake. Please accept this as my compensation." He offered it with both hands. "In the future, you must visit the Qinglam sect, so that I may host you properly." Zion studied him with a calculating gaze. This man, every time the spiritual mist thickens, greed flashes in his eyes. Still, to offer a gift as apology is unexpected. He accepted the pill with a smile. "Very well, fellow Taoist Li. It was indeed a misunderstanding. Another day, I will certainly visit the Qinglam sect. Ha ha ha." As he spoke, Zion subtly probed the man's aura. His cultivation isn't too high. He's a foundation establishment cultivator slightly weaker than myself. If I strike when he least expects it, wounding and killing him wouldn't be difficult. Li Shunfang clasped his hands again. "In that case, I will no longer disturb you. The sect still has matters requiring my attention. In 3 days, I shall return to invite you to the Qinglam sect." Turning away, his smile twisted into a cold frown. "I must obtain this spirit vein, no matter the cost." Watching him depart, Zion exhaled in relief. Finally, I've sent him away. But even as he thought this, Li Shunfang's expression darkened. Once I secure this low-grade spirit vein, promotion to Grand Elder and advancement to Golden Core will be within my grasp. At that moment, The system displayed a warning. Killing intent from Li Shun Fang +1. Zion's brows furrowed. Damn it. A wolf in sheep's clothing. I thought the matter was settled. Truly, there isn't a single good person in the Qinglam sect. Without hesitation, he activated Strike First for advantage and unleashed the Yang Sword technique, charging straight toward Li Shun Fang. Though Li hadn't looked back, his instincts screamed as a dreadful force bore down upon him. Terror surged in his heart. He spat out a mouthful of blood, staring at the wound in horror. You actually ambushed me?" He could hardly believe Zion had dared to strike him directly. The razor-sharp strike from Kai's sword pierced deep into his internal organs. Though it wouldn't kill him instantly, the outcome was no different. Zion looked down from above, his voice cold. "You wanted to kill me and steal my spirit vein, didn't you? If you intended to take my life, then it's only natural I'd take yours. Your death is no injustice." The man stammered in disbelief, his mind reeling. How did he know? I hid it so carefully, yet he still discovered it. Desperation overcame him, and he threw himself toward Zion, begging. "Senior, spare me. I was blinded by greed. I'm an elder of the Qinglam sect. You cannot kill me. If you do, the Qinglam sect will never forgive you." The system chimed, killing intent from Lin Fang +1. Without hesitation, Zion raised his sword and unleashed the technique, Sunset over Western Mountains. Lin Fang's face twisted in panic as the strike descended. He could hardly believe Zion would disregard his status as a Qinglam sect elder. The blade flashed, and in the next instant, his head fell to the ground, eyes still wide open. The headless corpse collapsed, strangely familiar, almost as if even in death, Lin Fang couldn't believe he had been cut down by Zion. Calmly, Zion sheathed his sword. The system displayed. "Congratulations, choice confirmed. Reward granted, superior grade magical treasure Zhang Chenkun, level 3. He glanced at the lifeless body. "In your next life, don't walk such a wicked path." He realized the system had automatically confirmed his first option and granted him the reward. Studying the golden bell that appeared in his hand, Zion gave it a shake, then smiled. Channeling his spiritual power, he hurled the bell far away, laughing loudly. The Zhang Chankun is indeed useful and essential tool for killing. As usual, the system continued its prompts. Zion carefully searched Lin Fang's storage bag, but all he found were 10 spirit stones and a few ordinary pills. He folded his arms, slightly disappointed. Truly pitiful. He was dirt poor. 3 days later, the skies were clear, painted in blue with drifting white clouds under the golden sun. She approached slowly. As he reached the doorway, a voice from inside called out, "Come in." He instinctively adjusted his clothes before pushing the door open. Inside, Zio Chen sat on a chair and asked evenly, "What brings you here, son?" She stepped forward respectfully. "Father, since the treasure on Mount King Yun couldn't be found, the Qinglam sect members have lost all patience. They've already begun to withdraw. This morning, the last immortal from Qinglam left." Zion was slightly surprised. "So, all of them are gone. It seems this treasure was never meant for them. Only the truly destined can obtain it. If Mount King Yun now holds no immortals, then we must encourage our clan to work harder for the prosperity of the Shi family." She bowed deeply. "I obey. Once I return, I'll inform the young men of the clan." As he turned to leave, the system displayed. Host's descendants with spirit roots have reached 50. Special reward granted, 65 cultivation points and 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. Heavenly Tao field function unlocked. Curious, Zion examined the new feature. The Heavenly Tao field covered the mountain behind the Shi family estate, where spiritual energy density was 10 times greater than normal, doubling cultivation speed. It also allowed him to observe developments within the field at any time. A faint smile crossed his face. This is truly a blessed land. After absorbing the 65 cultivation points, his cultivation advanced further. He had now reached the 6th level of the Golden Core. Then, the system's voice sounded again. Thousand-year ginseng detected within the heavenly Tao field. Choice activated. First option, immediately capture the ginseng and absorb it. Gain 500 years of cultivation, 350 cultivation points, and the pure wind technique, 9 variations. Reward of 6 bottles of longevity pills and heavenly technique, 9 transformations. Zion pondered silently. This rare spiritual entity had absorbed a millennium of sun and moon essence atop Mount Qingyun. It had gained consciousness 2 centuries ago and successfully taken form a decade earlier, now wielding powerful earth-moving divine abilities. So this is the true treasure the Qinglam sect desperately sought. Using his divine sense, Zion scanned the mountain, and sure enough, he located it. He smiled faintly, thinking to himself that it would be a pity to simply consume such a treasure. Instead, he decided he would tame it. Without hesitation, he shot through the air like the wind, swiftly making his way to the back of the Xia family's heavenly Da field. At that moment, a small child wearing a red bib was playing and laughing freely in the fields. His laughter rang out clearly, echoing through the dense spiritual energy surrounding the area. The child paused, gazing around in wonder. The spiritual energy here is so thick. Could this really be an immortal realm? He muttered. Suddenly, a gentle voice spoke. Little friend, what are you looking for? Do you need my help? Startled, the boy's eyes widened, and tears welled up before spilling down his cheeks. At that moment, Zan slowly descended from the sky, landing softly beside him. The frightened child immediately used an earth-moving technique, attempting to burrow into the ground to escape. Zan observed calmly and let out a small smile. So, you rely on this earth-moving technique to vanish without a trace? No wonder the Qinglam sect and the young heirs of other clans couldn't locate you. That explains much. Watching the boy, now surrounded by faint streams of immortal energy, Zan's expression turned thoughtful. Still, this is my territory, the heavenly Da field. The spiritual energy here is denser than anywhere else. Partly it is strengthened by the spirit stones embedded within the soil, and partly it comes from the natural foundation of the field itself. Together, they create a concentration of energy that rivals the blessed lands of the greatest sects. No wonder a treasure such as the 1,000-year ginseng is irresistibly drawn here. The boy continued to scurry about, but Zan raised his hand, conjuring a stream of energy that enveloped him completely. The current lifted the boy gently into the air and brought him closer. Little friend, I found you again, Zan said softly. With care, he lowered the boy back to the ground. The child, now surrounded by dissipating strands of spiritual energy, turned and looked at Zan, his small face trembling as he wailed out, "Immortal." Zan clasped his hands behind his back, then bent slightly with a kind smile. Do not be afraid, little one. This old man has no intention of harming you. The boy blinked at him with wide, innocent eyes filled with awe. When Zan reached down, the child instinctively stretched out his tiny hands to grasp one of his fingers. In the next moment, Zan pulled him into his arms, cradling him carefully. The boy's warmth and innocence made him smile, and he reached out to gently pat the child's round head with affection. Then, as if remembering something important, he asked, "That's right, little one. Would you like to take me as your master?" The boy, sitting securely in his palm, tilted his head in confusion. "Take as master?" he repeated in a soft mumble. Zan explained patiently, "If you acknowledge me as your master, then from this day forward you may live freely on this mountain without fear. I will also pass down to you the ways of cultivation, teaching you the path of immortality itself. How does that sound?" His words were gentle, filled with the warmth of a father's affection. The boy's eyes lit up with wonder at the phrase, immortal cultivation. Without hesitation, he bowed his little head and stammered out, Master. 1,000-year Jin sang subdued. Rewards received, 6 bottles of longevity pills, heavenly technique, 9 transformations. Hearing this, Zan's expression brightened. He glanced at the treasures gained and smiled with satisfaction. Then, patting the boy's head, he laughed warmly. Ha ha, good disciple. He lifted the child carefully into both hands and continued. Since you are a 1,000-year Jin Sang who has taken human form, your master will now bestow upon you a name. From this day forward, you shall be called Ling Shentz. The boy's eyes sparkled with joy, his voice bubbling with excitement. I have a name now. I'm Ling Shentz, he giggled happily, causing Zan to laugh with him. Very good, Zan said warmly. As your master, I will also give you a welcoming gift. I shall pass down to you a cultivation technique, the Heavenly 9 Transformations. It is a top-tier, 3rd-grade art. The boy looked up curiously. Master, what is the Heavenly 9 Transformations? Placing a steady hand on Ling Shentz's forehead, Zan replied, You'll understand soon enough. Relax your mind. With that, he transmitted the technique directly into the boy's consciousness. Ling Shentz's once empty mind suddenly ignited with radiant patterns of scripture and mystical insight. His eyes widened as wonder filled him. Wow, he gasped in amazement. Zan leaned closer, smiling. Do you sense the scripture within your mind now? The boy immediately nodded eagerly. Yes, it's there. He praised the boy, remarking that his progress was not bad. Over the next several days, he dedicated himself to teaching him diligently. One day, he wrote the character Shen on paper and had the boy read it aloud after him. This is the character Shen, he explained. Suddenly, he noticed someone outside. Realizing it was Xiao, he called out, Why are you here? Xiao entered slowly, her expression sorrowful and contemplative. Bowing respectfully, she greeted him with soft determination. Patriarch, I've come to bid you farewell. I want to embark on a journey to experience the world. I must seek opportunities that belong to me. Only through wandering can I truly grow. It will also prepare me for the appointment in 15 years. Her words surprised him, and he let out a heavy sigh. Just then, the system appeared with a new notification. Detected. Xiao H has chosen to embark on a journey of experience. Initiating choice. Please select. First choice, refuse and personally guide Xiao. Reward top-tier 4th-grade magical treasure. Second choice, approve Xiao's journey. Reward top-tier 3rd-grade magical treasure. He hesitated at the sight of the options. Zion frowned, unsure of what to say. Xiao, sensing his uncertainty, spoke quickly. Patriarch, please allow me. At that moment, Zion also stepped forward. I agree, he said firmly. Xiao called out twice, Patriarch. Zion placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder and encouraged her. A jade cannot shine without polishing. Go, but be careful in all things. Remember, the Xia family will always be your strongest support. Moved to tears, Xiao bowed deeply in gratitude for the Patriarch's blessing. The system then displayed another notification. Congratulations, host. You have chosen to allow Xiao H to embark on her journey of experience. Reward received, top-tier 3rd-grade magical treasure, the Azure Dragon Sword. Looking at his young niece, Zion sighed to himself. Young birds must eventually learn to fly. Though uneasy about her decision, he called Xiao over and handed her the gleaming sword. This is the Azure Dragon Sword, a top-tier 3rd-grade magical treasure. Use it well for self-defense during your travels. Xiao accepted the weapon joyfully, holding it with care. Thank you, Patriarch. Zion smiled warmly. Go now, and remember, be cautious in all things, and think before you act. Xiao obeyed immediately. She stepped out of the Patriarch's chambers but paused, bowing once more before the closed door. Patriarch, I will not disappoint you." With that, she departed. Zion, watching her resolve, smiled gently in reassurance. Stepping outside, he looked up at the blue sky, finding beauty in its vastness. Several months later, as he sat cultivating in the courtyard, the system suddenly chimed, startling him. "Your niece, Xiao H, has had a fortuitous encounter with a master. Under guidance, her cultivation has advanced rapidly." Zion's eyes widened. Her cultivation increased so dramatically. The system displayed detailed information. Name, Xiao H. Race, human. Cultivation, Foundation Establishment 3rd layer. Talent, Supreme Grade Spirit Root. Destiny, Flame Emperor. He studied the panel in awe. Already at Foundation Establishment, 3rd layer, what kind of deity or expert could guide her so swiftly? He exhaled deeply, concluding with conviction. It's as if she's using a cheat. Meanwhile, Xiao was inside a cave, focused on cultivation. In her hand, a ring radiated with soul energy, disrupting her concentration. Curious, she examined it. A voice echoed from within the ring. "Little one, as long as you provide me with spiritual energy, I will help you grow stronger. But if you accept me as your master, I will spare no effort in teaching you everything I know." Xiao froze, startled. She removed the ring, holding it in her palm as it hovered gently above her hand. After a long silence, she knelt respectfully, clasped her hands together, and declared, "Master." A hearty laugh rang from within the ring. "Very good, my obedient disciple." Having completed the discipleship ceremony, Xiao slid the ring back onto her finger. Guided by the memories of her master's soul, she obtained a new cultivation technique and resumed training. Time flowed like a fleeting dream. In the blink of an eye, 5 years had passed. At last, Xiao emerged from seclusion transformed. He stepped out of the cave to resume his training. On Zion's side, the system immediately notified him that the host's cultivation was continuing to rise. 5 years quietly slipped by. Within the Chingan sect on Mount Chingan, a mysterious figure, entirely shrouded, sat upon a stone platform in deep secluded cultivation. This was none other than the sect leader, Lai Shan. His expression revealed a trace of strain as torrents of spiritual energy surged violently across the mountain peak. Suddenly, those powerful streams converged into one, surging directly into Lai Shan's body. The disciples of the sect were stunned at the sight. Excitement spread among them as countless jade-green clouds gathered above, enveloping the entire mountain. The disciples quickly recognized this phenomenon. It was the cloud tribulation. Their sect leader was on the verge of breaking through to the golden core stage. Messengers rushed to inform the entire sect, and everyone was ordered to evacuate. Suspended high above the ground, Lai Shan rose into the air. Having crossed into the golden core realm, he no longer required flying swords to remain aloft. A faint smugness lingered on his lips as he looked down upon his sect with satisfaction, before turning his gaze proudly to the heavens. The disciples halted in their tracks, eyes fixed on their leader. In his hand, he held a bell radiating a powerful wave of spiritual energy. With a glance downward, streams of radiant light burst forth, scattering across the sky. Bright, white currents of energy rushed toward him, converging in unison. The surging beams circled around Lai Shan before pouring violently into his dantian. Enduring the overwhelming force, he steadied his breath, muttering inwardly, "The spiritual energy of heaven and earth is flooding into me at an incredible pace." His aura grew sharper, stronger until finally, with eyes wide and triumphant, he declared to himself, "I have reached the first level of the golden core. I have successfully overcome the tribulation." With a victorious smile, Lai Shan slowly descended, his robes fluttering as he landed upon the sect's training grounds. The disciples immediately stepped forward, bowing in unison. "Congratulations, sect leader. Congratulations on breaking through to the golden core. Sect leader is unrivaled, peerless under heaven." Lan Yun approached as well, a bright smile on her face. Master, congratulations on enduring the lightning tribulation and stepping into the Golden Core realm. Lai Qingshan regarded his disciple warmly. Yuner, I heard you went to the Zhao family years ago to sever an engagement. Is that true? Her expression faltered as memories surfaced. She recalled Zhao handsome, refined, and polite. Logically, it had seemed a fitting match. Yet the difference between them was something she knew all too well. Master, you are correct, she replied calmly, hands clasped. I also made a promise to that mortal Zhao. In 15 years, I will meet him again. But he is an ordinary man, forever separated from our world. I will make him understand that a quail can never soar into the blue skies. Her master nodded approvingly. Your character is steady and determined. That is good. The scene shifted to the mountains behind the Zhao family estate, where Zhao Chen sat in meditation, fully immersed in his cultivation. Suddenly, the system's voice echoed in his mind. Congratulations, host. The number of your descendants has reached 1,000. You have earned a reward, a ginseng seedling. Before him, a small ginseng sprout materialized. Zhao Chen reached out, touching it gently, before using his divine sense to summon Ling Shenzi. Come here, quickly. In an instant, Zion activated his teleportation ability, bringing Ling Shenzi to the entrance. The young disciple rushed inside with excitement. Master, I've arrived. Zhao Chen studied his disciple with thoughtful eyes. Ling Shenzi was no ordinary being, he was a spirit, born of heaven and nurtured by earth, his innate talent terrifyingly strong. The system immediately displayed his details. Name, Shen Lingi. Race, Spirit Clan. Cultivation technique, Divine Heavenly 9 Transformation Sword Art. Cultivation level, Foundation Establishment, 5th layer. Aptitude, 6th grade Spiritual Root. Zion nodded in approval, remarking that things were progressing quite well and developing quickly. He then took out a ginseng seedling and instructed, "This is a ginseng seedling. Plant it in the courtyard." Shenling Zi immediately agreed, replying respectfully, "Yes, master." As Zion sat in meditation, he quietly observed his disciple planting the ginseng seedling into the soil. Reaching out with his spiritual sense, he examined the current state of the Zia family system. Family system overview. Family harmony, all things prosper. Age, 121,200. Cultivation, Golden Core, 9th layer. Number of descendants, 15. Cultivation technique, Hong Mang Jai Scripture. Divine ability, Sword Control Technique upper grade. Martial techniques, Fervor Sword Technique, Falling Sun upper grade. Magical Treasure, upper grade, 3rd level. Spirit Root, Supreme Chaos Spirit Root. Elixirs. Embryo Forming Pills, 4. Longevity Pills, 5. Foundation Establishment Pills, Supreme Quality, Quantity Unspecified. Special Skills. Heaven and Earth Comprehension. Zion stroked his chin, clearly pleased with the Zia family's numerous descendants. But amid his satisfaction, he suddenly recalled how long it had been since he last grew a beard. Looking up, he saw Shenling about to finish planting the ginseng seedling. With a quiet murmur to himself, Zion said, "I should return to my room and continue cultivating." Without further delay, he turned and went back to his chamber. Once inside, he sat down immediately and entered meditation. Just then, the system displayed a sudden notification. System alert. Zia Wu's 15-year appointment has arrived. Initiating selection. Please make a choice. Seeing the message, Zion sighed in his heart. 15 years? How quickly time has passed. Indeed, time waits for no one. Without the system's support, I would already be in my grave by now. Heaven is vast, earth is boundless, and simply being alive is the greatest blessing. A selection panel appeared before him. Choice 1. Attack decisively and help Xia Wu secure victory. Reward: Magical Treasure Upper Grade, 4th level, 9 Transformations Fire Fist. Choice 2. Trust Xia Wu's strength, remain hidden, and do not interfere. Reward: Divine Ability Sword Summoning. Candidate information. Name: Xia Wu. Race: Human. Cultivation Technique: Divine Flying Dragon 9 Swords. Alchemy Technique: World Class. Magical Treasure: Azure Dragon Sword. Cultivation Level: Foundation Establishment, 6th Layer. Aptitude: 4th Grade Spirit Root. Destiny: Flame Emperor. Xion studied the notification board and sighed once more. Wu has made remarkable progress. In that case, he raised his voice calmly. System: I choose option 2. System response: Congratulations, host. Reward received: Sword Summoning Divine Ability. Meanwhile, in the vast training grounds of the Qinggan sect, Xia Wu stood proudly on one side, while Nan Yun occupied the opposite platform. Below, a great crowd had gathered to watch. Nan Yun's expression was cold and displeased. Xia Wu stepped forward, bowing with courtesy as he announced, "Xia family's Xia Wu has arrived. As per the 15-year appointment, I now stand as a man who holds his head high and his feet firmly on the ground." The crowd below murmured with distaste, their whispers filled with ridicule. Nan Yun, silent until now, finally spoke. Her tone was laced with contempt and mockery. "Xia Wu, a useless man with mediocre qualities like you should never dare to dream so high. The Qinggan sect cannot be insulted by the likes of you." With those sharp words, she unsheathed her sword and took her stance. "Today, you will die." Channeling her Kai, she unleashed the wind-tearing sword technique, thrusting directly at Xia Wu. He frowned slightly, raising his sword with calm precision. Meeting her attack head-on, he blocked with ease. Nan Yun's eyes widened as she sensed his cultivation. Shock flickered across her face, and she involuntarily stepped back. Foundation Establishment, 6th Layer. The man she once dismissed as useless now stood on equal ground with her. "You should understand," she declared bitterly, "that behind me stands the Qinggan sect." Xia Wu's eyes remained cold as he raised his sword lightly. "So, the Qinggan sect harbors people of mediocre quality after all." He exhaled slowly, then channeled his strength. "Now, try to withstand this Flying Dragon 9 Swords." From his blade erupted a surge of spiritual energy, coalescing into a massive azure dragon. 9 sword energies combined midair, manifesting as a fearsome 5-clawed dragon that filled the arena with crushing might. Nan Yun's eyes widened in disbelief, her mouth falling open in shock. The power was overwhelming, terrifying beyond measure. Snapping out of her daze, she gritted her teeth and raised her sword high. "I am the junior sect master of the Qinggan sect. I cannot lose face before this crowd. Xia Wu, I will fight you to the death." The wind-tearing sword technique unleashed a surge of crimson spiritual energy, striking directly toward the 5-clawed azure dragon. Her attack exploded with a thunderous roar, filling the air with smoke and dust. Yet Huo still stood proudly, unwavering, while Nan Yun had been driven back, forced to her knees. Huo held the retirement letter gently in his hand, gazing down at the 15-year agreement with a sense of superiority. "You've lost." Nan Yun trembled, fear overwhelming her as she clutched herself tightly. "Don't kill me," her voice shook, her heart trembling uncontrollably. For the first time in her life, she truly felt fear. Struggling to her feet, she looked at Huo's back as he turned away, walking without hesitation. Tears blurred her vision. What had Huo endured over all these years? She could never understand. But she knew, deep down, that the hardships he faced were far greater than anything she had suffered as a junior sect leader who merely remained sheltered on the mountain. Her tears fell freely, yet even she couldn't tell if they flowed from regret or humiliation. From the Qinggan sect, Several elders stepped forward, blocking Huo's path. One of them already had hidden weapons prepared. "Boy," one of them said coldly, "you've humiliated our junior sect leader. Do you really think you can walk away so easily? Sect leader, if he leaves today, openly and unpunished, the reputation of our Chingan sect will be completely ruined." Another voice added, "When this matter spreads, our sect will lose all standing. Even an innocent man who steps through heaven's gate is guilty of trespass." Huo sneered at the crowd. "Oh, is that so? I didn't want to kill anyone, but you're forcing my hand. Very well, then." He drew his sword in an instant. Among his opponents, the strongest was the Grand Elder, standing at the 9th layer of Foundation Establishment. The weakest of them had already reached the 6th layer. Huo himself had just endured a grueling battle, his spiritual energy depleted, yet now he was surrounded by 10 enemies. Very quickly, the fight turned against him. Just then, the ring on his hand began to glow, releasing a current of spiritual power. Huo felt the surge immediately, his cultivation rising, his strength climbing toward the golden core realm. With renewed might, he swung his sword, sending several elders flying back. One elder cried out in alarm, "Something's wrong." His cultivation suddenly surged, "It's even stronger than mine." "Don't panic," another reassured. "This kind of sudden increase always has severe side effects." Indeed, Huo's power had spiked because of the hidden support from his master. His sword technique transformed into the form of a flying dragon's claw, striking out fiercely against the elders. But the price was steep. His body trembled, his danshin burned, and his spiritual energy was nearly drained. Forcing himself to unleash the flying dragon sword again, his body grew unbearably hot, exhaustion consuming him. Clutching his sword tightly, Huo thought to himself, "The elders I just knocked away. This is my chance to escape the Chingan sect." But suddenly, an immense pressure fell upon him, a terrifying aura at the golden core stage locking firmly onto his body. Blood surged up his throat, and he coughed violently. The pressure came from none other than the sect leader of Chingan, who floated high above, gazing down with cold disdain. "Chingan sect cannot be humiliated like this," the sect leader declared. "Kneel and admit your guilt. Do so, and I may spare your life." Huo coughed another mouthful of blood, his body half kneeling, struggling to hold himself upright. A bitter smile crossed his face. So the 15-year agreement was nothing more than a joke. Win or lose, I was never meant to leave this place alive, was I? Wiping the blood from his lips, he glared upward. "If that's the case, let's see if you can stop me from leaving the mountain." The sect leader looked down with contempt. "Ignorant fool." He raised his right hand, releasing a crushing wave of spiritual power. Huo gritted his teeth as the enormous force pressed down upon him, the shadow of that hand descending to finish him. Then, suddenly, a deep voice resonated from the glowing ring on Huo's finger. "Huo, entrust your body to me. Chingan sect has no right to humiliate my disciple. No one here can keep you." Huo's eyes widened as he cried out to his master. The master reassured him, "It's all right. You'll only need to rest in deep sleep for a while. After that, you must rely on your own strength." At that moment, Xiaoho's eyes gleamed with light. When the leader of the Chingan sect struck with his massive hand, the force caused a thunderous explosion. Smoke and dust surged through the air. The leader looked down with faint surprise. "What's this? Could Xiaoho also possess a hidden technique?" Though he noticed Xiaoho's transformation, even his divine sense failed to detect Xiaoho's exact location. Turning to his disciples, he commanded coldly, "Send 2 elders with men to Chingan Mountain. Wipe out the entire Xiao family." The elders bowed respectfully. "Yes, sect leader." Without hesitation, the group departed toward the Xiao family estate. Meanwhile, in a small cave deep in the mountains, Xiaoho, battered but alive, sat silently, tending to his wounds. In his heart, he called out to his master. Days later, atop the back mountain of the Xiao family, bolts of lightning fell relentlessly from the heavens. Xiao Chen looked skyward with solemn focus. He had reached the peak of the Golden Core stage, and today marked his attempt to break through into the nascent soul realm. Channeling his spiritual power, immense energy surged around him. His body slowly lifted into the air as he prepared for the trial of lightning. The Xiao family descendants warned one another urgently, "No one is to approach the back mountain. Hurry, retreat at once." Xiao Chen remained standing firm, facing the heavenly punishment without fear. Strike after strike of lightning lashed his body, yet he smiled calmly, unshaken. He endured each bolt, one after another, until nearly half a watch later when the storm subsided. The sky cleared, blue and vast once more, the thunderclouds scattering completely. An elder with white hair sighed with relief. It was nothing more than a powerful thunderstorm. Everyone returned. The patriarch, however, kept his gaze fixed on the heavens, where Xiao Chen now descended, his body glowing with radiant light. Touching down gently, he closed his eyes and whispered, "I've succeeded. I have entered the nascent soul realm." Before his chest hovered a small spirit, sitting cross-legged in cultivation. Ling Enzi stepped forward with concern. "Master, are you unharmed?" Xiao Chen turned toward his disciple with a faint smile. "I'm fine. The nascent soul tribulation was not so fearsome." Ling Enzi bowed slightly, following behind. "Congratulations, Master, on stepping into the nascent soul stage. Your martial path grows ever more prosperous. Lightning tribulation will trouble you no longer." Together, Master and disciple returned to their chamber, resuming their cultivation. Xiao Chen glanced at the system's display. Host, Xiao Chen. Age, 125 1,500ths. Cultivation, Nascent Soul, First Layer. Descendants, 178. Cultivation Method, Hongmen Zai Scripture. Divine Ability, Word Sword Technique, First Class Upper Grade. Sword Techniques, Falling Sun 3rd Class Upper Grade, Sword Coming 3rd Class Upper Grade. Spirit Route, Supreme Chaos Spirit Route. Elixirs, 4-star Longevity Pill, 5-star Longevity Pill. Special Information, Tao Master of Heaven and Earth. He rubbed his nose slightly. Once a mortal bound by birth, aging, sickness, and death, now he possessed a lifespan of 1,000 years. Suddenly, the system's voice echoed. Scene detected. Disciples of the Qinggan sect have entered the Xiao family's territory. Initiating choice. Please select. Choice 1. Take the initiative, fly out, and kill them. Reward. 5th grade upper class magical treasure. Choice 2. Remain in seclusion, continue self-development. Reward. 4th grade middle class magical treasure. Xiao Chen hesitated for a moment. If he desired peace, the second option was the safer path. But if his family were exterminated, what meaning would his cultivation hold? How could he allow the Xiao descendants to be slaughtered by outsiders? Without the slightest doubt, he raised his hand and chose the first option. Immediately, detailed information appeared before him. Name, Danon Song. Race, human. Cultivation, Foundation Establishment, First Layer. Identity, Disciple of Qinggan Sect. Name, L. Shan. Race, human. Cultivation, Foundation Establishment, 8th Layer. Identity, Elder of Qinggan Sect. More names followed. In total, there were 10 intruders, the strongest among them being the 2 elders, both at the 8th layer of Foundation Establishment. Xiao Chen smiled faintly. So this is all they've sent? Just a handful of lackeys. Xion vanished in an instant before Ling Chenzi's eyes. Ling Chenzi looked at his master with awe, marveling at how much faster he had become. By now, night had fallen, and the moon shone brightly overhead. The disciples of the Qinggan sect stood gathered as their sect leader's command echoed. Eliminate every member of the Xia family, young or old. This will ensure they are unprepared when Xia Hon returns. Strike the moment you are within 100 meters. A disciple standing behind them could not help but admire the order. The two elders are truly brilliant. Their strategies are unmatched. Hearing such praise, the so-called elders smirked with pride, their faces twisted with self-satisfaction. But then, Zion appeared behind them like a shadow, his presence cold and sharp. "The Chingan sect claims righteousness," he said evenly, "yet I did not expect actions so treacherous and vile." The disciples froze in shock, uncertain of who had spoken. Zion's calm voice continued, "If that is the case, then this old man cannot allow you to live." The Chingan sect disciples drew their swords in unison. One shouted, "Who dares speak so arrogantly? Our master has already reached the golden core stage. Do you not fear that your words will seal your fate?" At once, the two elders exchanged a signal and roared together, "Kill him!" The order unleashed the entire group, swords thrusting toward Zion. The elders smirked arrogantly. "Still think yourself formidable? Your death will not be in vain." Zion curled his lips into a faint smile. Where does such confidence come from? With that, he invoked a technique. The swords lunged forward, yet instead of striking him, they turned and pierced into the very disciples who wielded them. The two elders faltered, their expressions filled with shock. What is happening? Where did these swords come from? Could the Xia family have prepared an ambush? Someone cried out in panic, "Elders, look above!" The elders raised their eyes, only to see a host of swords spinning in the air, enveloped in Zion's spiritual energy. With his face calm and unshaken, Zion declared, "This is the true meaning of sword coming." Fear overwhelmed the elders. "Quick, retreat! Report to the sect leader," one shouted frantically. "Destroying the Xia family is impossible. This man cannot be opposed." The crowd broke into a panicked retreat. Zio Chen, observing, lifted his hand. With a simple gesture, he directed the spiritual force at the fleeing disciples. Each sword descended, cutting them down one by one. A system prompt suddenly appeared before him. "Congratulations, host. You have obtained a superior grade magical treasure, the 5-element Chingan sword." A golden blade slowly materialized before Zion, its brilliance unmatched. He grasped it, his eyes gleaming with approval. "Not bad, not bad. With the 5-element Chingan sword, I no longer need to rely on spirit swords." Gathering his kai, Zion rose lightly into the air and disappeared into the night like a gust of wind. Several days later, under the cover of darkness, the Chingan sect's main hall was filled with tension. At the top sat sect leader Lai Chingan, his expression thunderous. Below him, 2 rows of disciples knelt in silence, not daring to lift their eyes. Lai Chingan's palm slammed against the chair in fury. "Who dares slaughter the elders of my Chingan sect?" His voice trembled with rage. "It seems the Xia family is far more formidable than expected." The hall fell into fearful silence. None dared utter a word. Lai Chingan's glare sharpened. Those 2 elders had already reached the 8th layer of foundation establishment, supported by many disciples of the same realm, yet all of them were annihilated. I will go to the Xia family myself and uncover the identity of this so-called mysterious protector. Meanwhile, at the Xia estate, incense smoke curled gracefully upward from a bronze burner. Zio Chen sat in deep meditation, his cultivation progressing at twice the usual pace. Spiritual energy swirled around him, forming the image of a miniature Zion. He summoned the system and opened his personal information. Host, Zio Chen. Age, 125 1,500ths. Cultivation, nascent soul, 1st layer. Descendants, 1,278. Cultivation technique, Hong Zuchai Sutra. Divine ability, rare language. Sword techniques. Falling Sun superior grade, 1st level. Sword coming superior grade, 3rd level. Magical treasures. 3-cornered Chonin pouch superior grade. 5-element Chingan sword superior grade. Spirit root, supreme chaos. Pills, Zion 4 stars, longevity pill 5 stars, supreme Judon 1 star. Special ability, probe the personal information of heaven and earth. Looking over the board of information, Xiao Chen thought to himself, with such longevity, the Xia family's bloodline will endure for over 100 generations to come. Mini Xiao Chen rose from the house. Floating, he looked down and saw wedding scenes, babies being born and learning to walk, people growing up, and he smiled happily. The current state of the Xia family business left this old man very satisfied. Suddenly, he detected a strange aura. Why was a golden core cultivator infiltrating here? The system scanned for information and displayed the external situation of Chingan sect along with the intruder's details: name, Li Chingan, race, human, cultivation, golden core first layer, talent, 4th grade spirit route. The system also showed a special identity, sect leader of Chingan sect. He looked at the notification and muttered, "The sect leader of Chingan sect, huh? Unexpectedly, it's Li Qingshan." If a golden core cultivator went on a killing spree in the Xia family, it would be disastrous, like a ticking time bomb. My cultivation has already surpassed the golden core stage and reached nascent soul, he thought. So this Chingan sect leader can't be allowed to live. Zion frowned. Only the dead posed no danger at this moment. On a dark road, lights around had come on. Li Qingshan thought to himself that the Xia family was more like a small city within Lori City. This family was indeed not simple. He smiled lightly. It seems I need to investigate more thoroughly now. The moon had risen high and the stars twinkled in the distance. A stream of spiritual energy spoke. "Fellow Taoist, what do you think of the Xia family's scenery?" Li Qingshan stopped, alert. This Xia family was indeed not as simple as it appeared. "I must stay calm," he told himself, clasping his hands and smiling. Fellow Taoist must be joking. The Xia family's spiritual energy is rich, and the beautiful scenery makes it suitable for cultivation. It's just that this time I've come uninvited. I hope the fellow Taoist will allow me to make amends. Please give me a chance to meet in person and apologize. Zion looked at the system displaying Li Qingshan's image and thought, "As if I'd fall for your trick. If you dare come, I'll kill you." Zion raised his hand, emanating a source of spiritual power. "If you want to come and apologize, this old man has prepared top-grade tea on the mountain behind the Xia family. I invite fellow Taoists to the mountain behind the Xia family." The sound of Xia Chen's voice reached Li Qingshan's position. He immediately rushed over and landed gently near where Zion was sitting. "This one, Mianzi, is honored to meet you," he said, clasping his hands politely. Zion poured tea with one hand and said, "This old man is the patriarch of the Xia family, Xia Chen. Please sit." Xiao Chen poured tea slowly and added, "You're about to die, so there's no need to hide anymore." Li Qingshan, sitting on the other side, said, "The Xiao family patriarch is indeed a cultivator. Finally, the appointment from 15 years ago that rendered my beloved disciple useless, it was all caused by the Xia family. Today I must kill you, old man." The system notified a killing intent from Li Qingdan, +1. Zion remained unconcerned and calmly replied. Then Li Qingshan's attitude suddenly shifted. Smiling, he said, "Brother Xia has built such a great enterprise, and your thinking is also very formidable, truly a hero." He smiled but felt unease inside. Brother Xia's cultivation was so powerful. He wondered where the successor was. After those words, Zion received a series of killing intents from Li Qingshan. He smiled lightly and looked up. "You bastard," he said. "When you die later, I'll certainly give you an acting award." With that, Zion crushed the cup in his hand. Li Qingshan spoke up, making a request. "Brother Xia's place looks so elegant. This junior boldly asks permission to admire it." Zion agreed calmly and leisurely, then led him on a tour, stepping slowly towards a painting. This painting is a work by the northern master Mingjie. This sword must be the famous 5th grade Qingyun sword. It cuts iron like mud, rare in this world. And there's the ox-shaped flower, a precious blossom that only blooms on the left bank of the river. Eating it can help increase one's power. Li Qingshan thought to himself that the Xia family had connections with clans in all regions, yet he still couldn't sense the existence of a disciple as mysterious as a bottomless abyss. Zion looked at him and said, "I'm just a mountain dweller, not affiliated with any sect. My cultivation is ordinary, just golden core stage 2, nothing special." Li Qingshan thought to himself, "After inquiring about your 18th generation ancestors, I'll kill you." Regarding what Zion said, he was still half believing, half doubting. But what he could deduce was that there was only one cultivator Zion, and there couldn't be any others. So the spirit greedy worm had reverted to its original form. Its aura completely disappeared. To Li Qingshan, it was just a white radish. He clasped his hands and said with a pretense, "Today, meeting the Xia family's patriarch is truly an honor. However, I still need to go somewhere else. I won't bother you anymore." The system displayed, killing. Intent from Li Qingshan. Zion raised the teacup to his mouth. This Qinglan sect is truly all the same. The Qingzan turned to leave. Zion sat calmly in his chair and said loudly, "See Leader Li, take care." When Lang Zan heard Zion say, "See Leader Li," he was startled. His identity had been exposed and a sense of danger enveloped him. Zion immediately summoned his sword, then, using spiritual power, sent the flying sword toward Lang Zan. He didn't turn his head, but could feel a pressure approaching. It was soul cultivation. At this moment the swords were ready to strike. Under Xiao Chan's command, without hesitation, they advanced, piercing through Lang Chen's body. He widened his eyes in disbelief. He had intended to ambush someone but ended up being ambushed instead. Xiao Chan's expression remained calm. One move executed was indeed a move, and it had terrifying power. Zion used his divine sense to examine Li Qingsha. Then certainly Zion could confirm that Lang Shan had completely disappeared. Zion looked at the spot where Lang Shan had been standing earlier and wondered, "Oh, what's this?" The system displayed a soul fragment of the Dark Soul Palace's local elder Wang Yi used to control Lang Shan. Dark Soul Palace? What's that? Who's Wang Yi? Never heard of them before, but if it's the person behind controlling Lang Shan, then they deserve to die. The soul remnant floated and said, "Who are you? How dare you kill a pawn of the Dark Soul Palace?" Zion smiled lightly and asked, "Listen carefully." He swung his sword, smiling wickedly. "I am your father." Then he immediately slashed the soul remnant, cutting it in half. The system announced, "Resentment from Wang Yi +1." At the Dark Soul Palace headquarters, Wang Yi sat frowning. Then the pain from his soul made him open his eyes. He spat out a mouthful of blood. He reached into his robe, searching for something, then put 2 pills in his mouth. "Dare to kill a part of my soul? I must kill you. I'll strip your tendons and flesh, then mince you," he hissed. He sat focused, gritting his teeth, and continued. "Finally, I'll extract your soul, throw it into a furnace to burn day and night without rest. You'll want to live but can't, and can't die either. I will make your entire family suffer the same pain. But there's still the sect leader's long-term plan. For now, I can temporarily suppress this anger." A few days later at the Qinggan sect, voices could be heard saying, "The Qinglan sect leader has vanished without a trace. All the sect elders have also lost their lives. The entire sect is now like a headless snake." Disciples in the sect were all worried and confused. Nalin Yun sat there looking at everyone sadly. Only she knew that Master Le Qingzan had gone to the Xia family. Holding a paper in her hand, she teared up. "Xia family, Xia Wu. Unfortunately, there's no medicine for regret in this world." Her eyes gazed into the distance. Now, because of Xia Hu's matter, her hair had turned white overnight and all her long-held beliefs were gradually shattering. Previously, Qinglan's sect had acted recklessly, offending many people. She stood up, looking at the disciples talking to each other. As for the disciples whose hearts were wavering, they secretly gathered valuable items from the sect and made excuses to leave Qinglan's sect. Those who stayed were all of poor quality, that's all there is to it. Very soon the entire Qinglan sect will disband. A few days later, Qing-El sect officially announced its dissolution. At this time, in a crowded inn, people sat talking. A few days ago, their sect leader Li Qingyan had just reached the golden core stage, hadn't he? I think that Qinglan's sect must have offended the wrong person who knows who it was. Someone who could make a powerful sect like Qinglan's sect disband. Another person who liked to chime in added, Qinglan's sect was, after all, the largest sect for over 1,000 years around here. Who would have the ability to destroy Qingyan's sect? It's really hard to believe. At this moment, behind Xia Mountain, Xiai was leaning on a cane, panting as he climbed the stairs. Xiao Chen, seeing his son like this, immediately used teleportation to bring him before himself and asked, Lear, what brings you to see me? Being suddenly teleported made Shai exclaim in admiration. Father's teleportation is truly masterful. He stammered, Father, Qinglan's sect has collapsed. Zion calmly looked at his son and replied, I know. The Qinglan sect's fate was my doing. His words made Sha's eyes widen, spilling the tea he was drinking. He hadn't expected Father to casually act and be able to destroy Qinglan. Seeing his son's reaction, Zion smiled softly, choosing not to explain further. Turning to his son, he instructed, Gather all descendants of the Xiao family who possess spiritual roots and bring them here. Linky will teach them cultivation techniques. Shai bowed respectfully. Yes, Father. I will arrange it immediately. Zion waved his hand, dismissing him. Go now. I must continue my cultivation. Lowering his head, Xiai clasped his hands with reverence, silently vowing to himself, Once I return, I must carry out Father's instructions without delay. Several hundred miles from Qingyan Mountain, Xia, who sat cross-legged, tending to his wounds. After a month of treatment with various medicinal pills, most of his injuries had nearly healed. Now, I can finally make my way to Qingyan Mountain and investigate news of the Qingyan sect, he muttered. At the foot of the mountain, he asked passers-by for information. Their replies shocked him. What? The Qingyan sect is gone? He asked, stunned. That's right, a passerby confirmed. It disbanded long ago. No one knows who was behind it. Zio stood frozen, his mind blank. He had never expected that while he was recovering, the entire sect would be destroyed. His expression hardened as he murmured, For me, this counts as revenge served. Raising a ring in his hand, he asked, Master, where do we go now? The master's voice echoed calmly, Next, we head to Tianqing Tower. Zio was momentarily puzzled, but quickly nodded in agreement. He recalled the memories his master had shared. Tianqing Tower was a supreme force personally founded by his master far beyond anything the Qinglan sect had ever been. Meanwhile, back at the Xiao family estate, a system notification suddenly rang out. Detected, the host's descendants have reached 2,000. Reward received, top-grade magical treasure cloud-chasing boots. Zion opened his eyes in surprise. He had not expected his lineage to grow so quickly. Before him, a pair of light gray boots shimmered into existence, spiritual energy swirling around them. Reaching out, he took the cloud-chasing boots and immediately tried them on. In an instant, they vanished from sight as if they had never existed. Testing them, he discovered his speed had at least doubled. Years passed. Within 5 years, the entire Qingyan Mountain had fallen under the control of the Xiao family, and Luit City had become their territory as well. Hovering in the skies above, Zio Chen surveyed the lands below. Rumors spread far and wide, claiming the Xiao family was guided by a mysterious master. Thanks to Linky's teachings, those with spiritual roots had all embarked on the cultivation path. The number of descendants and cultivators steadily grew, and the Xiao family rose to regional prominence. Opening his system interface, Xiao Chen raised his hand. Family harmony brings prosperity. He viewed his personal status. Host, Xiao Chen. Age, 130 of 1,800. Cultivation, Nascent Soul Realm, Level 2. Descendants, 2008. Cultivation Method, Dream Crimson Chess Scripture. Divine Skill, HSE Sword Technique. Magical Treasures, Falling Sun Sword Top Grade, 1st Level, Universe Expanding Treasure 3rd Level, Chingan Building Treasure 5th Level, Cloud Chasing Boots 4th Level. Spiritual Root, Chaos Supreme Root. Elixirs, Youth Preserving Pill, 4-star Longevity Pill, 5-star Nascent Soul Pill, Supreme 1-star Pill. Special Probes, Tao Field, Heaven and Earth. Xion stroked his chin with satisfaction. Such a long lifespan truly is a blessing. Perhaps I should also check on the others. He shifted his focus to Xia Hu's profile. Name, Xia Hu. Race, human. Cultivation method, Divine Flying Dragon 9 Swords. Skills, Sword Control, World-Class Alchemy. Magical Treasure, Azure Dragon Sword. Cultivation, Golden Core, Stage 2. Talent, Supreme Grade Spiritual Root. Identity, Master of Tianing Tower. Special Destiny, Flame Emperor's Fate. Reading the information, Xion burst into hearty laughter. Unbelievable. Already at the Golden Core stage? A genius beyond compare, and now the Master of Tianing Tower as well. Truly worthy of being a descendant of the Xiao family. As he thought further, Xion turned his attention to his eldest son. Xiai had recently broken through to the Kai condensation stage. Spreading his divine sense, Xion enveloped the entire Xiao family estate until his perception locked onto Xiai, leaning on a cane. With a flicker of spiritual energy, Xiai was instantly brought before him. Xiai clasped his hands and bowed. "Father, did you summon me?" Xion examined the system panel displaying his son's details. Name, Geely. Race, human. Cultivation, Kai condensation, stage 1. Talent, 1st grade spirit root. Relief crossed Xion's face. His son had indeed stepped firmly onto the path of cultivation, and his health looked far better than before. Looking at his son standing there with respectful composure, he indeed appeared far younger than before. He stepped forward and patted Li's shoulder. "Now that you're a cultivator as well, come see me later. I'll arrange for someone to give you a cultivation manual you must practice diligently from now on." She immediately agreed. "Yes, father." His face was full of feeling. "Father, I'm so moved. I never imagined the day would come when you could become a legendary immortal." Chen sent his son away and then immediately entered secluded cultivation. System notification detected a person with extremely lucky fate. Initiating selection. Please choose. Option 1, encounter a person with extremely lucky fate and, for the development of the Xia family, accept them as a disciple. Reward, mid-grade, 5th level magical treasure. He looked at the system. His expression shifted slightly. A person with extremely lucky fate. It was the first time he'd heard such a description. Option 2, you encounter a person with extremely lucky fate, but they might bring disaster. Pretend not to notice. Reward, low grade, purple quality magical treasure. Xion smiled mischievously. Taking a disciple comes with such a fine reward, but I should still be cautious. Let's observe first. He reached out with his divine sense. First, he used his primordial spirit to sweep across the entire Qingyun mountain. Then he suddenly discovered a young man with a dirty face and patched clothes. Xion immediately summoned the boy to his side, startling him. The young man looked around in confusion. "Where am I?" At that moment, Xion spoke slowly from behind. "Young one, do not worry. This old man will not harm you." The young man, a little afraid, asked, "Who are you?" Xia Chen replied calmly, This old man is the ancestor of the Shia family, named Zion. I have observed that your bone structure is remarkable. You are a prodigy for cultivation. Do you wish to become my disciple? The young man appeared bewildered. Become a disciple? He seemed worried. Ah, sir, what benefits are there if I become your disciple? Hearing this, Zion laughed heartily. Benefits will not be lacking. This old man will guide you on the path of immortal cultivation, seeking the way to eternal life. The young man's eyes brightened, though he admitted, although I don't understand the last 4 words, becoming an immortal sounds absolutely wonderful. He immediately knelt and greeted, Master. The system displayed a notification. Congratulations, host has received a mid-grade, 5th level magical treasure, Mystic Dragon Armor. Zion sat cross-legged. Good disciple. What is your name? Then he looked down. From now on I'll call you sire. How does that sound? The young man bowed his head respectfully. Thank you, master, for giving me a name. The system displayed, name Shuchai, race human, cultivation none, identity great fortune bearer, spirit root 8th grade, spirit rot 8th grade. Indeed, a person of great fortune. Zion immediately called for Ling Kai. Ling Kai appeared and bowed respectfully. Yes, master. Zion continued. From now on, the task of guiding Shu's cultivation I entrust to you. Ling Kai replied at once. Disciple obeys. At the Dark Soul Palace, a gloomy atmosphere shrouded the place. A figure clad entirely in black floated in midair, his body ringed with a stream of bright red spiritual energy. The disciples below knelt respectfully. Congratulations to the palace master for breaking through to the Yunying stage, they chanted. He looked up at the sky and murmured silently, Heaven favors the Dark Soul Palace. Then he took a spirit pill from a bottle, brought it to his lips, and swallowed to stabilize the power of the lightning tribulation. Now that I have ascended to Yunying, it is time for the Ming Kingdom to change hands. The disciples below shouted in unison, Palace Master, your wisdom is unparalleled. We will follow your orders for eternity. May the heavens protect the Dark Soul Palace. For your great cause, we are willing to brave fire and water. We will eliminate all sects in the Ming Kingdom. The man known as the Palace Master raised his hand and commanded, Summon all disciples and notify all our spies. Move quickly, destroy all forces in the Ming Kingdom. Those kneeling on the ground echoed the command together. Someone approached and said, Palace Master, the Tianxing Tower seems to be rising again. The Palace Master let out a faint HMPH. Just a swarm of headless flies. In the blink of an eye, we can completely wipe them out. His words made the messenger tremble slightly, but he still bowed respectfully. Wise Palace Master, this subordinate has spoken out of turn. Without another glance, the Palace Master floated away into the distance. 5 days later, Xiao Chen stood quietly in the courtyard, gazing up at the sky. Since the Dark Soul Palace began their campaign to eliminate sects and forces across the Ming Kingdom, 5 days had already passed. During this time, his cultivation had advanced to the 6th stage of Yuanying. The Xiao family had taken refuge on Mount Qing'an, a relatively safe place in the Ming Kingdom. With no powerful sects nearby since the Qing'an sect, the only dominant force in the region, had already been destroyed, they managed to avoid the Dark Soul Palace's assault for now. As Xiao Chen walked through the courtyard, he lifted his eyes and saw Jian Zai guiding the Xiao family's younger generation. Many of them had now successfully reached the foundation establishment stage. He stepped closer, produced several treasures, and said warmly, Well done in your cultivation. These pills are rewards for your efforts. The pills were all gifts previously granted by the system, but left unused until now. The descendants received them with joy, bowing deeply. Thank you, great ancestor. Xiao Chen smiled gently at them, his gaze falling upon their spirit roots. The corners of his lips curved upward. They were the future of the Xiao family. Just then, Xiao Sha approached, clasped his hands respectfully and said, "Father, I have something to report." By now, Xiao Sha had reached the 4th stage of Kai refining. Xiao Chen handed him a cup of hot tea and replied, "No need to rush. Have some tea first." Sha accepted the cup and drank quickly before continuing. "Father, 5 days ago, the Dark Soul Palace began its assault. Over a dozen sects, both large and small, have already fallen. All the righteous sects in the Ming Kingdom have now allied, preparing to resist together." Xiao Chen refilled his son's cup of tea, his brows knitting slightly. The Dark Soul Palace again. Last time it was Lai Qingxia pursuing Xiao Huo. Now another force rises, targeting the righteous sects. These demonic sects never know when to stop. His expression hardened. "Sha, instruct the inner disciples not to involve themselves in this conflict. They must not leave the Xiao family's territory. Better to avoid trouble than invite it." He raised his hand solemnly. "Our foremost priority is the safety of our descendants and the survival of the Xiao clan above all else." Sha clasped his hands in respect. "Yes, Father. I will inform the inner disciples immediately." As Sha left, Xiao Chen's thoughts grew heavy. Hearing the report had stirred his concern for Huo Huo. He feared she might cross paths with the Dark Soul Palace's cultivators. Without hesitation, he checked her status through the system. System notification. Granddaughter Xiao Huo has successfully broken through to Golden Core Stage 4. Xiao Chen nodded in satisfaction. Remarkable, to reach Golden Core Stage 4 in just 5 years. The stronger Huo Huo became, the safer she would be in the outside world. Profile. Name, Xiao Huo. Race, human. Techniques, Flying Dragon Sword, Sword Control, Peerless Pill Refining, Soul Destroying Sword. Treasure, Azure Dragon Sword. Cultivation, Golden Core Stage 4. Spirit Root, Grade 5. Identity, Master of Kinking Tower. Special Destiny, Flame Emperor's Fate. A smile spread across Xiao Chen's face. With the Flame Emperor's Fate, Huo Huo's Spirit Root had advanced to Grade 5, and she had mastered new techniques. Another notification appeared. System notification. Your granddaughter Xiao Huo has killed 10 cultivators from the Dark Soul Palace. System notification. Xiao Huo successfully set up a trap and killed Elder Shang Ming of the Dark Soul Palace. System notification. Surrounded by the Dark Soul Palace, Xiao Huo killed 2 elders and successfully escaped. Xiao Chen stared at the flood of messages, then burst into hearty laughter. Well done. Even the elders of the Dark Soul Palace have fallen to her hand. Truly worthy of being a descendant of the Xiao family. His gaze shifted back to the younger generation training in the courtyard. Huo Huo's growth has far exceeded my expectations. A sharp sword is forged through relentless tempering. Plum blossoms bloom most fragrant after the bitter cold. After enduring the bitter hardships of winter, Xiao Chen understood that such trials were necessary for growth. Several months later, while cultivating on a rock, the system suddenly notified him. Detected. You have a grandchild who is an omnipotent reincarnation. Reward received, Enlightenment Tea Tree. He stared at the notification board in disbelief. A future descendant is an omnipotent reincarnation. The description continued. The Enlightenment Tea Tree absorbs heavenly and earthly spirit roots as well as the essence of the sun and moon. It possesses relaxing and soul-purifying effects. Long-term consumption enhances one's potential for enlightenment. Xiao Chen never expected the tea tree to have such extraordinary benefits. Holding it in his hands, joy filled his heart. Even from the name alone, he knew it was no ordinary plant, it was a heavenly and earthly spirit root, comparable to the legendary ancient Jineng tree. After learning of its miraculous properties, his curiosity about this future omnipotent reincarnation grandchild grew even deeper. The notification board displayed further details. Name, Zhao Mai. Race, human. Spirit root quality, 6th grade. Cultivation, none. Special identity, omnipotent reincarnation. Realm, integration period a stage above nascent soul. Zhao Chen's eyes widened in shock. An omnipotent reincarnation at the integration period? He immediately asked the system, if Zhao Mai regains memories from a previous life, will it endanger the Zhao family? I cannot allow any weakness to threaten our development. The system replied, Dear host, all behaviors, personality traits, and emotions of Zhao Mai are bound to the Zhao family. Relieved, Zhao Chen nodded. Good. That is exactly the answer I wanted to hear. I can rest easy now. With a wave of his divine sense, he summoned Kai. His loyal disciple appeared instantly, bowing respectfully. This disciple is here. Master, what do you require of me? Zhao Chen held out the tea tree. This is the Enlightenment tea tree, planted in the courtyard. From now on, when cultivating, everyone may sit beneath its branches to practice. Kai accepted it with a bow. Yes, master. I will see to it at once. With that, he vanished. At the Zhao family's front courtyard, Zhao Shi was holding a ledger, instructing others when his father's divine sense reached him. The descendants of the Zhao family are bright and talented, Zhao Chen said. They must be nurtured well. Bring them to the back mountain so Ling Chenzi can personally guide their cultivation. Shi immediately bowed in respect. Yes, father. Afterward, Zhao Chen rubbed his chin thoughtfully before returning to his meditation. With another divine sense transmission, he instructed Ling Chenzi, You must pay close attention to teaching Zhao Mai. Ling Chenzi clasped his hands in respect. Yes, master. 5 years passed swiftly. Zhao Chen now sat in the courtyard, eyes closed in deep cultivation. Suddenly, sensing a shift, he opened his eyes wide. Spiritual energy rushed in from all directions, condensing rapidly before surging into his body. The energy surrounded him, lifting him off the ground. He looked at his hand in astonishment. In just 5 years, I've broken through 3 levels, reaching Nascent Soul Stage 9. Faster than I expected, but acceptable. Nearby, his descendants were diligently cultivating beneath the Enlightenment tea tree. In the inner courtyard, the tree thrived, while outside stood the towering ancient Jineng tree, which had already borne fruit shaped like small children. Zhao Chen slowly walked to the outer courtyard. His descendants rose, clasping their hands. Greetings, ancestor. Smiling warmly, he held up a jade bottle. Very good. Seeing you cultivate so earnestly pleases me. I have some extras for you. These are pills granted by the system. Their quality is excellent. The descendant's eyes widened with surprise. For someone at my current stage, these pills no longer hold much effect, he explained. So, I shall pass them to you instead. They received the pills reverently and cried out in unison, Thank you, ancestor, for your generosity. Zhao Chen's smile deepened at their gratitude. Just then, Zhao Lai hurried over, panic written across his face. Father, bad news. Zhao Chen raised an eyebrow. What is it that leaves you so unsettled? Xiai hesitated, his voice trembling. The Dark Soul Palace. Before he could finish, Zhao Chen teleported him directly into his private chamber. Everything went dark for a brief moment, and then Xiai found himself seated before his calm, composed father. Now, Zhao Chen said evenly, continue. What about the Dark Soul Palace? Clasping his hands, Xiai reported, Father, the power of the Dark Soul Palace has grown beyond measure. Even if all the righteous sects combined their strength, they would still be no match for them. Hearing this, Zhao Chen calmly lifted his teacup, his eyes narrowing slightly. Xiai continued his explanation. Currently, more than half of the Ming Kingdom's territory has fallen into the hands of the Dark Soul Palace. They rule with cruelty and tyranny everywhere, corpses cover the streets, turning the kingdom into a living hell. Most importantly, this wave of destruction will soon reach our Qingyun Mountain. He stood up and added, "Fortunately, a force known as the Celestial Star Tower has appeared, standing against the Dark Soul Palace. Their presence has slowed the enemy's expansion." Zion held his teacup, worry written on his face. If the Dark Soul Palace continues this way, Qingyun Mountain will soon be affected. If that happens, we must relocate immediately. I understand the principle so long as the Green Hills remain. We need not fear the lack of firewood. After all, their numbers and strength are overwhelming, and we don't yet know how powerful their leader truly is. None of the righteous sects in the Ming Kingdom can match them. With uncertainty, he asked, "Do you know the cultivation level of the Dark Soul Palace's leader?" Xiai shook his head slightly. "I am not entirely sure, but rumors claim he has reached the Yuan Ying stage, a strength that cannot be underestimated." Xin frowned. "So, it's the Yuan Ying stage, at least, that gives us some room to breathe. Very well, I understand. You may leave now. If you discover any trace of Dark Soul Palace members, report to me immediately." "Understood, Father," Xiai replied respectfully, clasping his hands before retreating. Watching his son's back, Zion thought to himself, "Isn't the master of the Celestial Star Tower actually Huo? Let me confirm his details." The system displayed. Name, Xiao Huo. Race, human. Cultivation technique, Divine Flying Dragon 9 Swords. Skills, Sword Technique, World-Class Pill Refining, 1 Sword Soul Destruction. Magical Treasure, Azure Dragon Sword. Cultivation, Golden Core Stage 7. Spiritual Root Quality, 5th grade. Identity, Master of Celestial Star Tower. Special Destiny, Destiny of the Flame Emperor. Seeing this, Zion smiled faintly. Huo's cultivation has already reached Golden Core Stage 7. That reassures me greatly. He touched a symbol on the system panel, and updates appeared. Your descendant Xiao Huo has slain the 4th Elder of the Dark Soul Palace, Lai Fang. Your descendant Xiao Huo has slain the 6th Elder of the Dark Soul Palace, Hugo. Your descendant Xiao Huo has slain 36 disciples of the Dark Soul Palace. Watching the continuous reports, Zion sighed. These past years, the battles between Huo and the Dark Soul Palace have kept me constantly worried for his safety. Each time he fights, it's like dancing on the edge of a sword. Yet, the gains have been extraordinary. A man tempered by real combat grows far stronger than one sheltered in a greenhouse. This is how the men of the Xiai family should be. He paused, reflecting. My cultivation is still at the Yuan Ying stage. If I remain stagnant, I will never truly be safe. It is time to attempt a breakthrough to the Hen stage. Zion entered his secluded cultivation cave and called out, "Lindsay." "Yes, master," Lindsay responded promptly. "I am about to begin seclusion to break through to the Hen stage. Unless the Dark Soul Palace attacks Qingyun Mountain, do not disturb me." "Yes, master," Lindsay answered. Zion sat down in the prepared formation. Closing his eyes, he began to focus on the Hongmeng purple cheese scripture. Purple light circled around him, flowing continuously into his body as he absorbed spiritual energy. Breathing deeply, he felt a torrent of power coursing through him. Soon, all that energy condensed into a faint golden aura that radiated from his body. He raised his hand, shaping the spiritual energy into a great sphere. Time passed quickly over a year of cultivation. Dark clouds suddenly gathered over Qingyun Mountain. Thunder rumbled as a storm formed. Lindsay, seeing this, smiled with relief. Master is finally about to break through. He rushed to the others. Quickly, activate the teleportation formation. Move everyone at least 100 miles away so no one is harmed by the lightning. Meanwhile, Zion floated high in the storm-filled sky. Heavy rain poured down as he gazed upward. So, this is the Hen Lightning Tribulation. A massive bolt of lightning tore through the heavens, striking toward him. Yet, Zion showed no fear. His expression remained calm as he raised a colossal hand of condensed spiritual power to block the strike. From afar, his disciples and descendants watched anxiously. Lindsay couldn't help but sigh. Master truly is extraordinary, facing the lightning tribulation without a trace of fear. The bolt dissipated, leaving Zion standing tall. He looked toward the storm and declared, "A hen lightning tribulation, it cannot harm me. I will not dodge it any longer. From this moment, I will confront the lightning with my body, using its might to temper myself." My flesh tingled as I spread my arms wide, welcoming the strike of lightning. The numbing sensation coursed instantly through my body. Far in the distance, Xia Xia and the others stared at the lightning bolt descending upon Zion. He stood firm, arms stretched, his face calm and indifferent, as though savoring the very comfort of the storm. From above, he gazed down upon his domain. Raising his hand, he summoned a surge of spiritual power. "Let's test the reach of divine sense," he murmured. At the Yuanying stage, divine sense could already encompass the entire Qingyun mountain. But now, at the Hen stage, it extended over 10,000 miles. The perception of his surroundings grew sharper, clearer than ever. Zion opened his system panel. At the Hen stage, one could command the surrounding spiritual energy, summon storms, rain, and wind, and draw upon the very forces of heaven and earth. Those who attained Hen could wield 3 parts of the earth's natural power. Seeing this, Zion smiled mischievously. "Great. I can truly feel the power of the Hen stage. I feel more at ease now." A system notification echoed in his mind. "Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the Hen stage. Reward granted, Supreme One-Finger Divine Skill." Zion was stunned. "Another skill? I'll examine it later." In the blink of an eye, his figure vanished, reappearing inside the cultivation chamber deep within the back mountain. Sitting cross-legged, back straight, his eyes gleamed with excitement as he pulled up the system. "Supreme One Finger, huh?" he whispered, reaching toward its image. Yet, something about it seemed unusual. The details appeared before him. Supreme One Finger channels the power of heaven and earth. With one strike, both body and soul are obliterated. Its effectiveness is absolute, regardless of distance. It can even locate and target descendants, allowing the skill to be used remotely. Zion raised his hand, grinning with delight. "So this is Supreme One Finger? Terrifying, it can even trace the position of my descendants. Then, even they can wield the powers of the Hen stage through me. This skill is beyond powerful." Meanwhile, 100 miles away, Lingyi called out to the gathered disciples, "The clouds are dispersing. Let's return to the mountain." Inside his room, Zion pulled up his personal information panel. System Family Prosperity. Host, Zion. Age, 135. Lifespan, 5,000 years. Cultivation, Hen stage, level 1. Descendants, 278. Cultivation method, Hongmeng Purple Cheese Scripture. Proficiencies, Sword Techniques. Sunset Sword Technique 1st grade. Sword Come 3rd grade, Superior. Supreme One Finger 3rd grade, Superior. Magical Treasures. Chonan Bell 3rd grade, Superior. King Yu Sword 5th grade, Superior. Cloud Chasing Shoes 4th grade, Superior. Xuanlong Armor 5th grade, Superior. Spirit Root, Chaos Ancestor. Elixirs, 99. Special abilities, Concealing Personal Information, creating Heaven and Earth Field. Zion's eyes sparkled as he read the details. A lifespan of 5,000 years, reaching Hen Stage 1 puts me at ease. I'll retreat to the cave and stabilize my realm. 3 months later, within the back mountain cave, a trace of worry clouded Zion's face. Lowering his head, he sighed deeply. His divine sense spread across King Yu Mountain, revealing his descendants. Some laughed in their mother's arms, while others immersed themselves in cultivation. A smile touched his lips. Good. More descendants with spirit roots are being born. But his expression quickly darkened. His brows furrowed as he sensed something unusual within Xia City. Strangers with demonic auras had appeared. Alarmed, Zion immediately pulled up their information. Name, Liui. Race, Demon Clan. Cultivation, Foundation Establishment, Stage 6. Talent, 2nd grade Spirit Root. Identity, Disciple of the Dark Soul Palace. Name, Race, Demon Clan. Cultivation, Foundation Establishment, Stage 4. Talent, 1st grade Spirit Root. Identity, Disciple of the Dark Soul Palace. Name, Shui. Race, Demon Clan. Cultivation, Foundation Establishment, Stage 7. Talent, 2nd grade Spirit Root. Identity, Disciple of the Dark Soul Palace. In total, over 20 disciples of the Dark Soul Palace had infiltrated the city. Zion's jaw tightened, rage boiled within him. The Dark Soul Palace, his killing intent surged violently, filling the back mountain with a suffocating aura. The Zio family descendants cultivating nearby trembled uncontrollably. Lindsay looked around in fear. Master suddenly released his killing intent. We can't stop shaking, even his breath feels overwhelming. After all, Master has already reached the hen stage. Within the cave, Zion's fury only grew. He had never expected the Dark Soul Palace to set their eyes upon the Zio family. Just the thought of the Dark Soul Palace's actions filled Zio Chen with uncontrollable killing intent. He raised his hand, spiritual power surging as he unleashed the divine sense of the hen stage. His focus locked onto the Dark Soul Palace disciples who had infiltrated the Zio family's city. In an instant, those disciples were dragged before him. A colossal spiritual hand descended, gripping the Dark Soul Palace scum with unstoppable force. The hand crushed them mercilessly, blood spraying in every direction. Die, all of you, Zio Chen said coldly. His expression remained indifferent as more than 20 bodies turned into mist, their souls scattering into nothingness. Without pause, he spread his divine sense across the entire Zio family territory, searching for any remaining disciples. None of the Dark Soul Palace's men remained within the city. Using his divine sense again, Zio Chen summoned his eldest son, Zio Lai. Arriving quickly, Zio Lai bowed respectfully. Father, you summoned me. Dark Soul Palace disciples dared to infiltrate our Zio family city, Zio Chen replied. Zio Lai's face twisted in shock. What? I was focused only on preventing our descendants from leaving the city at will. I neglected to guard against outsiders entering. That must be how they slipped inside. His teeth clenched in fury. Damn the Dark Soul Palace. I will lead our descendants to drive them out immediately. But Zio Chen closed his eyes and waved his hand dismissively. There's no need. I've already killed them all. Zio Lai froze, stunned by the words. After a long pause, he said, I've long known Father has ascended to the hen stage. Your cultivation far surpasses even the leader of the Dark Soul Palace. With you as our pillar, the Zio family stands unshakable. Even if their palace master himself came, you could slay him with a single strike. At those words, Zio Chen glanced at his son, his voice calm. The Zio family's principle has always been humility, not arrogance. You must remain steady. From now on, strengthen the defenses of our city. The Zio family and its core members must also increase their protection. Zio Lai clasped his hands respectfully. I understand, Father. Zio Chen added, his tone more serious. This must all be done quietly and without drawing attention. Again, Zio Lai bowed. I accept your orders. May I take my leave? With a final clasp of his hands, he vanished from the room. Meanwhile, Zio Chen retreated to the cultivation room in the back mountain. I must resume cultivation, he instructed. If anything happens, come directly to report. Every 3 months, I will scan the entire King Mountain region with my divine sense, including all members of the Zio family. And every month, you must personally come here and give me a report." "Yes, Father," Zio Lai replied. Time flowed swiftly. A year passed. Within the cultivation room of the back mountain, Zio Chen sat in deep meditation. Suddenly, the system's voice rang out. "Your descendant Zio, who is being pursued by the Dark Soul Palace Master. Choice activation. Please select." Zio Chen's brows furrowed as the system presented its options. Choice 1. The Dark Soul Palace has committed countless atrocities in Ming Country. You decide to uphold justice and slay their palace master, the old demon. Reward: high-grade magical treasure, 4th rank. Choice 2. The Dark Soul Palace's crimes are endless, yet you believe Zio, who worries about the family's safety. You decide to ignore the situation. Reward: high-grade magical treasure, 3rd rank. Zio Chen's gaze hardened. The old demon, the palace master of the Dark Soul Palace. Last year, his disciples dared to invade our city. He crossed my bottom line. And now, he dares to hunt my descendant Zio, who... A faint smile tugged at his lips. Perfect. This will be a good opportunity to test heaven-piercing strike. He chose the first option. The system chimed. Congratulations, host. You have obtained a high-grade magical treasure, 4th rank demon-slaying blade. Far away in the Ming capital, golden dragon-shaped spiritual energy clashed against dark purple energy, the sky trembling from their battle. The purple energy pressed forward aggressively, striking again and again at the golden dragon. That golden aura belonged to Zio Hu, but his strength was waning, his body bloodied and battered. Falling back, he gasped for breath. "Master, is there any way to break this pursuit talisman?" His teeth clenched as he struggled desperately against the overwhelming force pressing down upon him. The Celestial Star Tower I led had risen to become the foremost righteous sect in the Ming country. At this time, I had originally planned to gather our forces and strike a decisive blow against the Dark Soul Palace. But unexpectedly, just as I was preparing to investigate their internal situation, I was suddenly locked onto by a terrifying stream of power, a divine sense. He recalled the scene within the Dark Soul Palace as a voice echoed in his mind. "Zio Huo, heaven has a door, yet you refuse to enter. Hell has no gate, yet you insist on barging in. Foolish." It was the murderous divine sense of the old demon palace master, transmitting directly into his mind. "I've already placed a pursuit talisman on you. Even if you sprout wings, you won't escape." Zio's brows furrowed. This is serious trouble. Without hesitation, he launched into sword flight, soaring through the sky. Yet from below, waves of purple spiritual energy surged upward, rushing to strike at him. Forced onto the defensive, Zio felt a flicker of panic. At that moment, he was still in the capital, and he thought grimly, "Even though I've kept a safe distance until now, the old demon excels at long-range attacks. As always, he's forcing me to focus solely on fleeing, leaving me in a desperate situation." Suddenly, the ring on his hand released a voice. "Disciple, this pursuit talisman is not impossible to break. It will only last for about an hour longer." Zio gritted his teeth, pressing onward. "All right, no problem. I'll just have to buy time." But his thoughts remained tense. "I can't relax for even a moment. My pursuer is the palace master of the Dark Soul Palace. A single misstep, and I'll be sent straight to the underworld. This is truly a life or death struggle." The purple energy continued to swirl, calling Zio's name. At first, he thought it was Wang Kai, an elder of the Dark Soul Palace. Then, from the energy emerged a figure wearing a crimson mask. "I sent disciples of the Dark Soul Palace to Zio City before," the masked figure said coldly. "But they vanished without a trace. That only proves there's indeed a formidable expert hiding there. From then on, I've been wary." But today, I'll take this chance to capture you and settle both old and new grudges. My only regret is not being able to eat your flesh and drink your blood." With those chilling words, the red-masked figure lunged toward Zio. Elsewhere, the palace master of the Dark Soul Palace watched through a crystal ball, his expression cold. If Wang Kai has already appeared, then there's no need for me to act in person. Zio is already bound by my life-severing talisman. No matter what, he cannot escape my grasp. Besides, I am a Yunying stage expert. If I fail twice in a row against a mere Golden Core Junior, where would my dignity be? Zio suddenly realized the old demon himself had withdrawn. But Wang Kai continued to chase relentlessly, roaring, "Zio, once I catch you, I'll strip your tendons, pull out your bones, and burn your soul with spirit fire until you vanish completely. Your flesh will be refined into a puppet to serve as my dog." Having already been weakened by the palace master's pursuit talisman earlier, Zio's spirit wavered. Yet Wang Kai did not relent, his voice echoing like thunder. The Dark Soul Palace is not something you can contend with. Right now, more than 100 of our disciples have infiltrated the Zio family. With just one order, Zio City will be reduced to a graveyard. Hearing this, Zio's heart tightened with rage. He came to an abrupt stop, turned sharply, and faced Wang Kai head-on. "What did you say?" His voice trembled with fury. "You dare to extend your claws toward Zio City? Today, even if I must destroy my own golden core, I'll eradicate this threat." With that, Zio raised his sword and charged toward Wang Kai. "Everyone, attack!" Wang Kai shouted to his subordinates. "Capture him alive, and I'll reward you handsomely." But behind his mask, Wang Kai thought to himself with caution, if Zio truly self-destructs his golden core, his body will be destroyed, and I won't be able to refine him into a puppet. That would be a devastating loss. That's why he must be captured alive. Moreover, Wang Kai felt reassured. The palace master stands behind me, and he's already at the Yunying stage. How could a mere Golden Core Junior cause any real trouble? But Zio, furious at the thought of his city being targeted, unleashed all his wrath. His sword cut through the air as he began slaughtering the subordinates of the Dark Soul Palace without mercy. He cut down one enemy after another, but their numbers were overwhelming. He couldn't slay them all and was soon surrounded. Raising his sword, he shouted, "Old thief, surrender your worthless life." His blade rose high, radiating a powerful spiritual force. Around his body, Shio's face remained solemn, completely devoid of emotion. The immense spiritual force condensed onto his weapon. Channeling it, Shio manifested a blue dragon and unleashed it against the crowd of the Dark Soul Palace. Old Wang Kai, gripping his own sword, sneered arrogantly. Just in time. He too released his spiritual force, summoning a grotesque purple dragon. The two spiritual beasts roared, colliding in the air and tearing at each other before clashing head-on. Despite being a cultivation genius, Shio was blasted back, gravely wounded. Blood spilled from his mouth. Wang Kai thought grimly, I had to sacrifice a mid-grade defensive treasure, a third-grade artifact to withstand that strike. I may not be bleeding like Shio, but this man is no ordinary foe. Sweat dotted his forehead as he admitted to himself, even though we are both at the Golden Core stage, the difference between us is like heaven and earth. While Shio swallowed medicine to mend his injuries, Wang Kai devised a plan. He cast one last glance at Shio, then suddenly turned and fled at full speed. I won't risk my life here. Not even with the old demon's protection will I gamble against his blade, he thought. Seeing him retreat, Shio grabbed his sword and gave chase. Dog thief, you won't escape, Wang Kai barked orders to his subordinates, commanding them to block Shio's pursuit and buy him time. The Dark Soul Palace Master observed from afar, his expression darkening. Useless trash, he cursed. Looks like I'll have to take action myself. Raising his clawed hand, he gathered spiritual energy and sent it crashing toward Shio. He then extended his senses, locking onto Xiao's location, and in the next instant performed an instant teleportation. The sky suddenly trembled as a terrifying spiritual force descended, freezing both sides of the battle in place. Out of a swirling red mist, the Dark Soul Palace Master emerged, sword in hand. With just a trace of his power, he exuded a suffocating pressure that dominated the battlefield. His eyes sharpened as killing intent surged from him, his cultivation at the nascent soul realm spreading like a storm. "Xiao Wu," he declared coldly, "you've caused enough chaos here." With a thrust of his blade, he unleashed his spiritual pressure, pressing it down onto Xiao. At that moment, Xiao was still locked in battle with the Dark Soul Palace's underlings. Clenching his teeth, he braced himself. "The power of the nascent soul realm, its aura alone is crushing me." Nearby, one of the enemies laughed mockingly. "As long as the palace master intervenes, Xiao will be nothing more than a fish on the chopping block." Xiao felt the weight of despair. To him, it was as if he stood in an endless sea of blood, corpses towering like mountains all around him. The suffocating pressure made breathing unbearable. The nascent soul realm, I might not survive this time. The Dark Soul Palace's subordinates were flattened instantly by the overwhelming force. On Xiao's side, though heavily suppressed, he only dropped to one knee, using his sword for support. Surrounded by the bodies of his enemies, he muttered bitterly, "Master, it seems your kindness can only be repaid in the next life when I rebuild your body and restore the Celestial Star Tower." A hint of sorrow flashed across his face as he removed the ring from his finger. Tears threatened, his heart heavy. "This disciple may have to break his promise," he whispered, sensing death drawing closer. Against such absolute strength, all his plans crumbled. Just then, the remnant soul of Xiao's master appeared. His voice was calm, almost gentle. "My disciple, I have already passed down all my knowledge to you. Today, allow me to end this hatred once and for all." With an emotionless gaze, the spirit descended. The Dark Soul Palace Master's eyes narrowed in surprise. "A medicine spirit master, so you managed to preserve even a fragment of your soul." The old demon smirked as he stepped forward. "I didn't expect your remnant soul to survive back then. But this time, I'll send you and your disciple on the road together. You can be companions on the journey to the afterlife." The old demon's face twisted with malice. He thought to himself, so this explains why Xiao is so familiar with the Dark Soul Palace. The remnant soul of the medicine spirit master floated above and declared, "Old demon, today I am willing to sacrifice what remains of my soul in exchange for my disciple's life." His expression hardened with anger. "Otherwise, even if it means master and disciple perish together, we will ensure you are forced into seclusion for 100 years. Xiaowaho clutched his chest anxiously. "Master," he called out, but when his master turned back to glance at him, the look in his eyes silenced him. A subordinate rushed forward, reporting to the palace master, "We absolutely cannot let the tiger return to the forest. They remain the greatest enemies of the Dark Soul Palace." Hearing this, the palace master's face darkened. His eyebrows rose sharply as he channeled spiritual energy into his blazing sword. "Medicine spirit, you slipped away last time by mere chance. This time, even with wings, you won't escape." With that, he launched a fierce attack at master and disciple. The oppressive might of the nascent soul realm descended. Xiao struggled desperately to defend, but the pressure overwhelmed him. He spat out a mouthful of blood, causing his master's face to tighten with worry. "Disciple," the master cried, "I will use my remnant soul to protect you. Run, quickly." Xiao dropped to one knee, forcing himself to hold on. But when his master urged him again, he answered firmly, "Master, I won't leave. Today, if we die together." Golden spiritual energy erupted from his palm, forming a radiant sphere of light. The palace master sneered coldly. "Still resisting? Then I'll grant your wish." He unleashed another violent attack. Standing behind his master, Xiao watched the incoming beam of energy. Determination burned in his eyes. Planting his sword firmly into the ground, he expanded his spiritual domain. The earth cracked as the light around him grew stronger and brighter. His eyes glowed with brilliance as he raised his sword toward the sky. "This will be the last time we fight side by side," he roared. Soul-destroying sword. A surge of devastating power erupted. His strike shattered the palace master's spiritual energy, forcing him back in shock. Xiao's attack condensed into a massive pillar of light, splitting the mist around them. But the effort was too great. He vomited another mouthful of blood and collapsed. "Disciple," the master shouted, rushing to his side. Xia Waho fell face first, barely conscious, while his master caught him in his arms. Tears welled in the old man's eyes as he whispered with sorrow, "Foolish disciple." His voice trembled, teeth gritted against the pain. "Remember your ancestor, Huo. I cannot even begin to tell you what I have endured these years." The Dark Soul Palace Master looked at Xiao's broken figure with disdain. "A brat is still just a brat," he scoffed. Xiao, lying weakly in his master's arms, muttered, "Master, ancestor, I'm so tired." His eyes began to close. "Disciple, you must not sleep," his master cried in desperation, but Xiao's eyes had already shut tightly. The master's face sank into grief. Stroking his disciple's head gently, he murmured, "It's all right, your master will accompany you." Gathering his remaining strength, he summoned a sphere of golden energy into his palms and roared, "Self-destruct golden core." A thunderous rumble shook the skies. Storm winds howled as the palace trembled violently. The Dark Soul Palace Master froze in shock, caught in the pull of a swirling black vortex. "Who dares interfere? Which fellow cultivator has come here?" he shouted. Even Xia's master faltered, uncertain of the sudden change. At that moment, Xiao's eyes fluttered open slightly. He turned his gaze upward toward a colossal hand descending from above. The moment the hand appeared, the subordinates of the Dark Soul Palace coughed up blood in unison. Master and disciple were stunned, their eyes wide with disbelief. Even the palace master himself staggered, vomiting blood, his face twisting with terror. Glaring at the hand enveloped in lightning, he cried out, "Venerable one, I bear no grudge against you. Why attack me?" Fear rippled through him. This pressure, this power, this is not something a mere nascent soul cultivator could possess. This must be at least the strength of a deity transformation expert. Far away, Zion sat within a quiet chamber, his hand stretched through space itself, pressing down upon the Dark Soul Palace. His cold voice echoed across the skies. "The Dark Soul Palace has committed countless atrocities. Countless lives have suffered because of you. Destroying you is justice." Xia, who clutched his chest as the voice echoed. Though disguised, the tone carried an unsettling familiarity like that of a close relative, almost reminiscent of an ancestor. The Dark Soul Palace Master fell to his knees. "Venerable one, bullying the weak is beneath your dignity. Spare me, and I will dedicate the Dark Soul Palace to you. I will conquer lands in your name." Sean's expression remained unchanged. He pointed at him coldly. "How could I agree? Go and die." Though Sean's hand looked small, when it pressed upon the Dark Soul Palace Master it expanded, pinning him to the ground. Suddenly, a surge of purple energy rose, the nascent soul of the old evil cultivator escaping. Zhao Chen sneered. At the crucial moment, he abandons his body to let his nascent soul flee, hoping for rebirth. But he doesn't understand what he's facing. Still holding a glowing beam of light, Zhao Chen raised his hand. "Want to run? Not today," he called out, and Huo immediately charged with his sword. One thrust pierced the old cultivator's chest before he could react. Eyes wide in disbelief, the old man screamed, "You cannot kill me. If I die, no one will offer tributes. The Ming Kingdom will be destroyed." Zhao Chen froze. "Tributes? Explain yourself." The old cultivator's expression twisted with despair. Beyond the Ming Kingdom lie over 100 nations. They are all nothing but farms. When the time comes, someone comes to collect the tributes. If I die, they will know. This terrifying truth is my final secret. Xiao stood silently behind, deep in thought, while his master's gaze never left the dying man. Unease stirred in Xiao Chen's heart. Farms? Tributes? Speak clearly. What are they? The old cultivator pleaded desperately. The most gifted cultivators of the Ming Kingdom, those with rare spiritual roots, are all tributes. From the beginning, my Dark Soul Palace was tasked with delivering them in exchange for benefits. Once I die, they will descend upon the Ming Kingdom. When that time comes, corpses will pile high, and rivers will run with blood. Do you dare shoulder that burden? I am the greatest contributor. Xiao Chen frowned with concern. His extraordinary talent and countless other gifted ones might indeed be the tributes this man spoke of. At that moment, the system rang out. Unexpected event detected. Choice initiated. Option 1. Accept the old cultivator's offer. Make him a puppet, and use the Dark Soul Palace to uncover the truth. Reward: a top-grade level 3 magical treasure. Option 2. Reject his offer. Guide shown to face the coming crisis. Reward: a top-grade level 2 magical treasure. The system confirmed. Congratulations! You have received a top-grade level 2 magical treasure, the map of the nation's landscape. Xiao Chen made his decision without hesitation. The old cultivator must die. Even if spared, he might contact the tribute collectors and endanger Sha. And if the Ming Kingdom was already targeted, killing or sparing him made little difference. Enemies would still come, and the people would resist. The old cultivator's last hope crumbled into despair. At that moment, Xiao leaped forward. He had hesitated before, but hearing Xiao Chen's decision left him certain. The old evil cultivator must die. Xia Wu clasped his hands respectfully. Venerable One, thank you for your assistance. I have no words to repay your kindness. Sham looked at his nephew with a steady gaze. Then become stronger. If you are truly a tribute, you must have the strength to protect yourself. Xiao turned to his master. Master, was what he said true? His master sighed. I had planned to wait until you grew stronger before telling you. But now that you know, you must work harder. Xiao pressed further. Then who are these tribute collectors? They are beings comparable to gods, his master replied gravely. Even I have never seen them. The old cultivator sought to harm you with their aid. Xiao asked softly, and the Venerable One just now, will he help us? His master shook his head gently. No one can help you more than yourself. Only by becoming stronger will you be able to protect both yourself and others. He immediately agreed that his master was right. I will become even stronger. He remembered the ancestors, his father, and his other brothers in the clan. These were his loved ones, the ones he must protect at all costs. Right, I also need to write a letter to inform the grandmas about this matter. Zion now stood on the cliff, gazing into the distance. So, outside Ming Kingdom, it's truly that terrifying. I concealed my identity and killed the old evil cultivator to avoid exposure. Now it seems my descendants are about to be exposed one by one. Should I help them become even stronger, or live in hiding like me? His face showed deep deliberation. I've grown stronger through cultivation. How can I let those people take my descendants away? The people of the Xia family are of indomitable spirit. What is there to fear? We must become even stronger, strong enough to slay all enemies. He raised his hand and called Uncle Fu. Please announce for me, any daughter-in-law of the Xia family who gives birth to a son will be rewarded with a top-grade elixir. If the child is born with spiritual roots, reward them with a top-grade cultivation manual. All men and young adults of the Xia family must cultivate in their rooms at night. Those who dare to be lazy will be punished according to family law. Uncle Fu clasped his hands. This servant will inform everyone. Yet inwardly, he wondered what this was all about. That night, after receiving the announcement, the Xia family was overflowing with happiness everywhere. Chen Jin, 100 miles from Xia, heard the news, and passers-by were speechless. Early the next morning, when a disciple stepped out of the house yawning, his eyes widened. He stammered, "Ah, the mountain behind has been split in two again." A year later, Xiao Chen was sitting in the courtyard cultivating. He opened his eyes gently. Washing stage 2, unexpectedly. It took a year to break through. This speed is still too slow. I must continue to expand the clan, take more concubines, and have children quickly. Sitting there, cultivating, he thought, I really hope the immature grandchildren and great-grandchildren grow up quickly. Of course, if outsiders saw this, they would be shocked. In the H-Han realm, for each level of cultivation, it would normally take at least 15 years to advance. He had only taken 1 year to achieve this, which was unprecedented. He smiled gently and summoned the system. Let's see what realm Shai has cultivated to. The system displayed. Name Shai. Race human. Talent 6th grade spirit root. Proficient in techniques Dragon Yang sword scripture, Blood Flame divine sword, Swanang 1 sword scripture. Cultivation Foundation establishment stage 8. Special identity Powerful beings reincarnation, fusion anomaly, awakened talent, innate sword body. Zion was surprised. In just a single year, Xiai had already reached Foundation Establishment Stage 8. That's truly rapid. These techniques are probably memories from his previous life. The mountains and rivers painting suits him very well. As long as he continues cultivating, he will certainly become the pillar of the Xia family. Looking at his grandson's back, he thought, he's the first in the family to go out for training. I wonder how Huo is doing. He checked on Huo's situation. Name, Xiao. Race, human. Proficient techniques, Flying Dragon 9 swords, sword terminology, Peerless pill refining, 1 sword soul destruction, Thoughtless demon transformation, Treasure sword azure dragon, Mystic flame slash. Cultivation, Golden core stage 9. Identity, Master of Tian Xing Ti, leader of 36 sects in Ming Kingdom. Special destiny, Destiny of the Flame Emperor. These are all Huo's recent achievements. I see the boy has reached Golden Core Stage 9. I'm very pleased. Such strength is truly extraordinary. Moreover, he has gained quite a bit of influence in Ming Kingdom. At that moment, Xiai stepped in from outside and said, Father, there's a guest. He asked, Who is it? Can't you handle it yourself? Xiai replied, But it's someone from the Ming Kingdom royal family. A royal family member coming could only mean someone of special status. Xiai alone would not have the qualifications to receive them. Sean's face turned serious. Royal family, so what? Even if the emperor himself came, you could receive him just like this time. Sha's face showed hesitation. A royal family member has come to propose marriage. Zion finally stood up. Propose to whom? Which girl from our Xia family? No, it's Princess Weena, Xiai replied. The princess has feelings for Huo, so she wants to propose. The system displayed a notification, detected, Zio's predestined relationship initiating. Choice please. Choice 1. Go with the flow, calmly observe. Reward, superior grade magical treasure 4th grade auspicious wood. Choice 2. Take charge, organize the wedding. Reward, divine puppet with split body technique. Zion laughed loudly and made his choice. The system announced, Congratulations, host has received the reward, divine puppet with split body technique. This meant he had chosen option 2. He smiled and said to his son, So someone has their eye on our Huo, and with royal bloodline too. That's not bad. She thought to himself. Father seemed very pleased. He smiled and asked, Do you agree? Then he raised his hand and replied, "The young men of our Xia family are all busy having children. Huo is outside and can't take on this responsibility. I want to see if we can get Huo to return. That would be a good thing." At this time, a young woman waited in the guest room. She was beautiful, gentle, and graceful. Xiao Chen and Xia Li finally arrived. The girl stood and respectfully greeted the patriarch. Xiao Chen smiled and replied, "Princess Weena, no need for formalities. You're still a member of the royal family. You haven't married into the Xia family yet. There's no need for such titles and courtesies." In his heart, he thought Princess Weena was very understanding. He was quite pleased. Princess Weena spoke with fervor. "Patriarch, I have feelings for Xia Huo. If not him, I won't marry anyone else. I've long considered myself part of the Xia family." Xia Chen felt happy hearing this. This child is indeed interesting. She'd make an ideal daughter-in-law for the Xia family. Meanwhile, on Xia Huo's side, he stood before a group of subordinates. After the death of the old evil demon, he had dealt with the remnants of the Dark Soul Palace and, wanting to form a stronger force to deal with unknown enemies, had begun to ally with other sects and factions. Within a year, he became the leader of 36 sects. Last month, the royal family suddenly met with disaster. I fled from the palace but was pursued. At the crucial moment, Xiao stepped in to save me. Since then, I've developed feelings for him, she proudly recounted, patting her chest as she continued. After investigating the identity of the person I like, I've decided, if it's not Xiao, I won't marry anyone else. Xion turned to Xiai and said, "Very well. This must be heaven-sent fate. Send a letter in my name to have Xiao return." The eldest son Xiai clasped his hands and replied, "Yes, I'll do it right away." Princess Weena beamed with joy upon hearing this. Suddenly there were hurried footsteps, a royal nanny with soldiers behind her. She respectfully addressed Princess Weena. "Princess, it was so hard to find you. If you don't return, I'll be beheaded." Princess Weena looked down and said gently, "Go back and tell everyone in the royal family. In this life, I'll only marry Xiao and no one else. Otherwise, just bring back my corpse." The Xiao family descendants raised their eyebrows, sensing some romantic drama. Xiao Chen sat on his high chair, frowning. Could it be that the royal family doesn't approve of this marriage? The Xiao family is different now than before Xia Huo is famous everywhere. He pondered how the Ming dynasty's royal family could possibly refuse. As Xion was lost in thought, Princess Weena suddenly knelt down and said, "Patriarch, rest assured, in life I belong to the Xia family. In death, I'll be a ghost of the Xia family. No one can make me change my mind. I, daughter-in-law Weena, request to enter the ancestral hall to pay respects to the ancestors." Suddenly a loud voice came from behind, "If you marry into the Xia family, I'll destroy the entire Xia family." This startled Princess Weena a bit. Xiao Chen's face turned serious. A Xia family as formidable as this who could destroy it so easily. She wouldn't have the qualifications to receive them. Then he stood up and shouted loudly, "How dare you? Who gave you the courage to speak like that in the Xia family? The Xia family is now like the rising sun. Our strength is unfathomable. How can we allow others to criticize us?" The person who arrived turned out to be the princess's royal uncle. The princess turned and said, "Royal uncle, you've come to fetch me yourself, but I still won't change my mind. In this life, if it's not Xiao, I won't marry anyone." She continued, "A few days ago, assassins attacked the royal family. When I ran out of the palace, I was ambushed again. It was Xiao who saved me at the crucial moment. This is the arrangement of fate and the predestined bond between him and me." The Xia family members, seeing the princess's royal uncle arrive, thought to themselves, "These people before us are all members of the royal family. The ones wearing elaborate robes must be high-ranking officials." At first glance, the leader, with an arrogant and cold demeanor, looked at Princess Weena. It turned out to be the emperor's younger brother, Prince Gong. Prince Gong's right-hand man spoke insolently. The Liang Kingdom has sent betrothal gifts to prepare for your marriage and fulfill the agreement between the two countries. How can we go back on our promise?" A servant nearby added, "Princess, you should accept your fate and marry as arranged." The princess firmly and angrily replied, "Uncle, do you think I don't know? The one who led the Liang Kingdom's envoy this afternoon was you. The one who came to see me and pressured father to agree to this political marriage was also you. Why should I listen to you? My fate is in my own hands. Who I marry should be my decision." Xiao Chen, witnessing this, thought, according to what Princess Weena said, "This Prince Gong seems a bit strange. But what does it matter? Whose destined love has arrived? As patriarch of the Xia family, how can I let such a good match slip away?" Xiao Chen slowly walked forward and said to Prince Gong, "Forget about political marriages. Even if the whole world disagrees with this union, I will still officiate their marriage today. Visit the ancestral hall to pay respects first. Then stay at the Xia family temporarily. Tomorrow, we'll hold the wedding ceremony." Princess Weena immediately agreed. Prince Gong gritted his teeth in anger. "You don't understand anything." He watched the backs of his niece and Xiao Chen as they left, saying, "The Xia family dares to disobey my orders." In the Xia family's ancestral hall, descendants were preparing incense for the princess to burn. Meanwhile, Xion said to her royal uncle, "Do you want to leave on your own, or shall we escort you out?" Prince Gong was furious. "Very well, you lot are indeed arrogant. Don't forget who rules the Ming Kingdom. You're all waiting for death." Xion retorted, "Don't you forget who the emperor of the Ming Kingdom is. The main gate is that way." A subordinate whispered to Prince Gong, "Sir, Xiao, whose strength is formidable. He single-handedly subdued 36 sects continuously. He can command them, and his position in the Dragon Kingdom is very special. Taking action now would cause trouble. If the forces of those sects arrive, we'll be at a disadvantage." Hearing this, Prince Gong pointed and said, "Fine, you just wait and see." Later, in Prince Gong's residence, as he was writing, a mysterious person appeared. He spoke in a low voice. "Where's Princess Weena? Why hasn't she returned?" Prince Gong stood up, clasping his hands. "The girl stubbornly refuses to return. She was taken away by the Xia family. But don't worry, messenger, I guarantee I'll escort her to Liang Kingdom as planned. The crown prince won't be disappointed." The mysterious person warned, "You'd better make it happen. The crown prince prefers flowers before they bloom. If there's any mistake, you'll have to pray for your own fortune." He disappeared, leaving Prince Gong sweating. Alone in the room, he clenched his fist and slammed the table. "Xia family, Xiao, I won't let you off the hook. Initially, I sent people to assassinate the royal family and capture Princess Weena. It took so much effort, but Xiao has ruined everything. He even wants to marry Princess Weena. This must not happen." Meanwhile, at the Xia residence, someone said to Princess Weena, "Now that you've paid respects at the ancestral hall, please stay at the Xia residence tonight. This way, please." The next morning, the atmosphere was festive. Everyone was preparing red flowers to hang everywhere. Xiao had also returned by this time. Someone approached him and said, "Come with me to meet the bride." When he entered, the person Xiao who saw was Princess Weena. "It's you," he said in surprise. The person chuckled and left. "Haha, you two just talk." It seemed that from their chance encounter before, both had already developed feelings for each other. Xiao Hu and Princess Weena both blushed. At this moment, Xion, on Mount Qingyun, was focusing on his cultivation. With both hands, he used the divine technique of puppet division, and instantly a puppet identical to him appeared. Seeing the result, he smiled lightly. "Not bad, this division even shares consciousness with me. It can be controlled in such detail, and it looks exactly like me. Even after infusing spiritual power into the puppet, it also has structured thinking." He then waved goodbye to the puppet. With this puppet division technique, I'll be even safer now. At this moment, Xiao Chan was standing on the mountain peak and said, "The Xia family's grand wedding begins. They have a new member now." The atmosphere at the Shah residence was extremely festive. Xia Hu and Princess Weena held the red silk ribbon on their wedding day in the Xiao family courtyard. Xiao Chen was using his divine sense to witness everything. The officiant called out loudly, "Bow to heaven and earth, bow to the ancestors, bow to each other." After the wedding ceremony was completed, the system displayed, detected Prince Gong Legong. Leading his subordinates, approaching, detected the opponent, intentionally activating function selection. Choice 1. Directly kill them, accumulate combat experience, receive a top-grade 3rd-tier magical treasure. Choice 2. Inform Xia Wu to let him eliminate Li Wu's worries at the root, receive a top-grade 2nd-tier magical treasure. Xion smiled lightly and pondered, unexpectedly, on such a joyous day, being Princess Wu's own uncle, he comes to cause trouble. If it were before, I would certainly stay at home and let Huo lead the 36th sect to eliminate this calamity. But now I have my puppet division. I can completely handle Prince Gong's group myself. But why is the person I'm seeing presiding over the ceremony? If Prince Gong dies, what does it have to do with me anyway? Having said that, Xion immediately used his teleportation ability outside the Shah residence. Prince Gong and his soldiers were lurking behind trees. He said to his subordinates, listen carefully, kill as many people inside as you can. You must create a big commotion for me. The 36th sect must know about this. Xia, whose wedding ceremony is on its way here. We must capture the princess before they arrive. If we miss this chance, none of you will survive. Understood? He stepped forward and shouted, "Go kill for me." As he was advancing, there was a loud explosion in front of him. The ground cracked and rocks flew everywhere. It was Sheen appearing, standing in front of Prince Gong. He said to him, "Want to kill people of the Xia family? Looks like you all want to become fertilizer for the grass." As night fell, at this time Xion stood alone proudly in front of the group of soldiers. He clasped his hands behind his back, his face unchanging as he looked towards them. Prince Gong angrily shouted, "So it's you." Slowly advancing, Xion said, "Today is the Xia family's grand wedding. With me here, no one dares to cause trouble." Prince Gong and his subordinates, hearing this, sneered. "Just relying on you alone," he said, then attacked while laughing. Everyone here is an expert selected from various sects in Ming country. Each of them is at least Golden Core Stage 4 or Semi-Nent Soul, he said, then pointed a finger. That Xia Hu of the Xia family at most is only Golden Core Stage 9. Even if he came here, he wouldn't be a match. Who do you think you are to dare stand before me and speak so arrogantly? Though he spoke thus, his heart was in turmoil. This time to capture Princess Weena, I've almost brought all my henchmen here. If there's another mistake and I can't deliver her to the Lion Country's prince, then I absolutely cannot avoid death. After hearing him speak, Xion gave a sly smile. You mean to say the strongest here is only Semi-Nent Soul, huh? Prince Gong and his subordinates' faces distorted. The people behind Prince Gong said, the Xia family's power has weakened. Today is their last day of joy. Who are you to look down on anyone? I see he's just putting on a show, trying to buy time for the Xia family. Dealing with him alone is enough. We don't need to get involved. Hearing this, Prince Gong said, then you go up and quickly dispose of him. Elder Jingu immediately stepped forward. Ward, he created a source of spiritual power and stepped towards Xion. Living in this world isn't easy, yet you insist on dying. Rest assured, the Xia family will soon be buried with you. Xia Chan's face showed utter boredom. He lightly raised one finger, causing Elder Jingu to suddenly stop in his tracks, leaving him somewhat bewildered. The people behind were also surprised. Why isn't he moving anymore? Xion slowly walked forward. He stood close to Elder Jingu, raising his hand to point at his forehead. Elder Jingu immediately fell backwards, his eyes rolled back, and he stopped breathing. The people behind, seeing this scene, were utterly shocked. Prince Gong's face was now distorted. Why is this happening? Zion looked visibly annoyed. Don't be so troublesome, all of you. Come at once, one of Prince Gong's men said. He must be a cultivator of extraordinary power. Perhaps he's at the final stage of Golden Core. Then we need a Nent Soul expert to kill him. Hearing this, Prince Gong glanced behind him. Master Zhang, you take care of him. This Master Zhang had reached the realm of semi-Nent Soul Hong Lang, revered god. He immediately burst out with spiritual energy, shouting, Arrogance brings disaster. Xia family, it's over. Xia Chen unhurriedly raised his hand and said, Collect the spiritual force. Instantly, the energy Hong Lang, revered god, had just released completely disappeared, leaving him bewildered. The people behind were also confused. He turned left and then right. My spiritual power, where's my spiritual power? He suddenly looked forward in shock. Panicked, he stuttered. You could it be? Zion didn't bother to answer, only saying 2 words, die, now. That caused him to immediately spit blood. Then he fell backwards before everyone's eyes. The soldiers stood dumbfounded and fearful. Prince Gong, seeing this scene, shouted, Why are you all just standing there? Could he possibly be stronger than Xiao? This must be a Xia family technique, there can't be any more. Then he pointed, ordering the soldiers behind him. All of you, charge forward and kill him for me. The soldiers, though fearful, still had to obey the order. Gritting their teeth, they grabbed their swords and charged, shouting loudly, Kill! Kill them all! Sean's face remained calm as he lightly waved his hand, instantly overwhelming them and causing the soldiers to fall face down on the ground. Seeing this scene, Prince Gong was now also afraid. How can you, Zion, manipulating spiritual energy in his hand, said, Nothing is impossible. You too will be on your way soon. Prince Gong's face had now turned pale. You dare kill me? I am of royal blood. Killing me will result in the execution of 9 clans, Zion smiled faintly. Execute 9 clans, you say? The Xiao family's daughter-in-law is Princess Wua. If 9 clans are to be executed, your royal family will die along with them. Prince Gong, now covered in sweat, still tried to argue. No, without me, Luina wouldn't have been sent to Leon Kingdom. The Crown Prince of Leon Kingdom surely won't spare Ming Kingdom. You're bringing doom to Ming Kingdom, Zion calmly said. I don't care about royal affairs. Whoever tries to take the Xia family's daughter-in-law, I'll make them taste the consequences. As he spoke, he immediately struck, causing the old man to scream, No, you don't know at all about the Crown Prince of Leon Kingdom's other identity. You absolutely cannot defy him. Zion curiously asked further, What other identity could it be? Prince Gong, cowering, knelt on the ground and said, The Crown Prince of Leon Kingdom's master is a deity transformation expert. Hearing this, Zon closed his eyes and sighed softly. He spoke in a somewhat dismissive tone. Is that all? I thought it was something mysterious and unfathomable. Turns out it's just that. Then he reached out his hand, using his power to press Prince Gong down. The words he spoke are truly meaningless, he stammered in fear. Wait, is there something wrong with your head? It's a deity transformation expert. Aren't you afraid? His master, besides reaching the deity transformation realm, is also an elder of the Jinghong Palace. Zan paused at this. The Jinghong Palace. Again? Prince Gong continued. Ming Kingdom and Ling Kingdom are both in the southern region. In the southern region's territory, the Jinghong Palace is considered the largest sect, leading among all the sects. If you offend the Jinghong Palace, forget about Ming Kingdom, even Ling Kingdom could be destroyed in an instant. I advise you to be more sensible. The orders of those great figures shouldn't be defied. It's better not to. Zion indifferently asked, Is that all? Prince Gong was dumbfounded. What do you mean? Zion replied. I asked if there's nothing else. By now he was terrified to the extreme. His whole body was drenched in sweat, as if there was more. But Zion didn't care. He moved his hand close to the man's head. Whether there is or not, I don't want to hear anymore. Then he pointed his finger at Prince Gong's forehead, causing his eyes to roll back. He then collapsed to the ground. The system displayed a notification, extracted 1 Chunin bag high-grade 3rd-tier treasure. Confirm use. He turned around, thinking of using the Chunin bag to dispose of the evidence. Then there would be no trace left at all. It's over. Even if the Jinghong Palace comes here, no one would be able to investigate that he killed them. After finishing up, he immediately used teleportation and disappeared. He teleported to the back of Qing Mountain. Looking down from above, he saw the descendants performing the wedding ceremony. Then he looked at his puppet, thinking that it was presiding over the wedding, acting as the witness and declaring the vows. Xiao clasped his hands. Old Ancestor Huo, I request permission to bid farewell. I still have other matters to attend to. Xia Chen replied, A man's ambition lies in the 4 corners of the world. Go quickly. The Xiao family will always be your support. Hearing the old ancestor's approval, Xiao was delighted. He took his wife's hand and asked, Where do you want to go from now on? Princess Huia replied, I'll follow you. The two embraced lovingly. Poor Huo, lonely and watching this scene, thought to himself, I don't want to limit myself to the Dragon Kingdom. I want to go farther to gain more experience. After saying this, the couple walked away before everyone's eyes. Meanwhile, Zion received a system notification. Detected Jinghong Palace's agents in Ming Kingdom approaching Qianren City. Activating choice feature. Option 1. Kill 1 agent, accumulate combat experience, receive a high-grade 3rd-tier magical treasure. Option 2. Befriend them. Have friends from afar, receive a high-grade 2nd-tier magical treasure. Zion thought, the Jinghong Palace people have really come. How interesting. He stood proudly on the balcony, looking down, and sent his puppet down the mountain to approach the visitor. The puppet went forward and said, Sir, you come visiting so late at night. What brings you here? In his heart, Zion thought, I've already seen through this person's strength. He has reached the Nent Soul realm, but hasn't even touched the highest level of that realm. The visitor was Chang Tan Ren. He spoke up and asked, Who are you? Zion calmly replied, No need to worry. I'm just a small aging figure from the Xia family. I see you're searching for something here. May I ask what you're looking for? Hearing this, Chang Tan Ren replied, Have any corpses appeared here today? Zion feigned ignorance and answered, No. Today is a joyous day for our Xia family. What nonsense are you talking about? He clasped his hands and calmly added, Why don't you have a drink with me? We can talk things over slowly. After all, this is our Xia family's territory. Perhaps I can be of some help. While saying this, he thought to himself, Last time when Lishan Fang from Qinggan Mountain snuck in, I offered a similar choice. I could have received a better reward, but because Lishan Fang didn't know better and harbored killing intent towards me, I had no choice. This time, I'm given another good opportunity. Zion sat down first and brought out some wine. Seeing this, Chang Tan Ren said, Well then, let's drown our sorrows in wine. As he raised the wine to his lips, he thought, I'll drink a cup first just to put him at ease. After putting down his cup, he asked, What exactly are you here to find, sir? Chang Tan Ren replied, Someone went missing here. He had a mark on him, so when that person died, we immediately detected it. That's why I came to find the body. I want to investigate who did this. After saying this, he raised his cup of wine and drank, then praised its quality. Sweet and refreshing, infused with spiritual energy. Truly excellent wine. Zion poured more wine while replying, A mark? So you can find out who the killer is? The other man answered, My Jinghong Palace has many tricks. After a person dies, we can identify the killer using the corpse. It's just a pity that... Before he finished, Zion frowned and thought, Luckily I disposed of the body right away. otherwise it would have been big trouble. He replied, Jinghong Palace. I've heard it's a sect from Leon Kingdom. What brings you to Ming Kingdom? Chunin Ren's face grew gloomy. Although you're also a cultivator, your vision is completely limited. You don't know that beyond people there are more people. Beyond heavens, there are more heavens. In the southern continent, talk of this country and that country is all nonsense. It's only so sects can control people better. They also want to select those with outstanding talent and high potential. Zion continued to ask, what's the purpose of selection? Seeing his persistent questioning, the man said, when you grow a large tree, why do you want it to bloom and bear fruit? Zion smiled slightly. Your words are profound and complex. I truly don't understand. Chenin Ren's face showed slight annoyance as though this person before me doesn't look like a country bumpkin. How can he not understand such a clear explanation? But this wine is truly excellent. If we can't find any clues, I won't stay here much longer. Standing up as if to leave, he thought to himself, it's a pity I can't continue drinking this wine. If one drinks this top-grade wine regularly, it would surely improve one's cultivation. But how does a peasant like him have it? Perhaps Shia family had a chance to obtain this treasure and wants to gift it to me. Specifically, he pointed at the wine bottle and asked, do you have more of this? Zion replied, this was obtained by chance. I only have this one bottle. He shamelessly asked further, can you give this bottle to me? Zion cheerfully lifted the wine bottle and said, of course. As he handed the bottle over, he inquired, I have a question. What kind of mark is it that can help you determine that person's last appearance was here? Cheng Chan Ren answered, it's a prisoner's mark used to control that person. Through this mark we can check what happened. But now that we can't find the body, there's no way to investigate further. Having the wine bottle in his hands, he was extremely pleased. Zion asked another question. I still have one more question. If you're from Jinghong Palace, do you also have such a mark on you? He replied arrogantly. How could I possibly have it on me? Only outsiders who want protection and wish to become stronger are marked for exploitation. Zion smiled and waved his hand upon hearing the answer. So that's how it is. Holding the wine bottle in his hand, Chang Tian Ren opened the cap and said, this wine must have been obtained through treasure hunting. Zion also stood up and replied, it could be said that way. He immediately responded, during that treasure hunt, were there any other treasures found as well? Zio Chan's smile faded at this point. What are you trying to say? Chang Tan Ren greedily pointed at the wine bottle. Friend, since I'm already here, why not invite me in? Let's sit for a while, even just for a cup of tea. Zion politely declined and turned around. It's late. I need to head back. Besides, my home isn't suitable for guests right now. Let's go then, he thought to himself. How could I not see through his intentions? Chang'an Ren called out from behind. Friend, you're not being very righteous. Could it be that you're guilty? How did Jinghong Palace's person disappear here? It's hard to avoid being involved. Zion frowned as he looked at him. I wanted to be a bit nicer, but you really don't know how to cooperate. Hearing this, he was startled. Zion pretended to be oblivious and smiled lightly. Nothing. You said you have no mark on you, which means if you die here no one would know, right? He sneered. You want to kill me? Then he summoned his spiritual energy. Let's see if you have the ability to do that. First turning to Zion, he said, hand over all the treasures you have. Otherwise I'll bathe Shio clan in blood. Zion calmly clasped his hands behind his back. You think you have that kind of strength? He laughed loudly, still unafraid. Who do you think you are to question me? Shia clan, you're nothing in my eyes. Don't tell me you think Shio can save Shia clan. Trash like him, our Jinghong Palace could destroy 10 of his kind in an instant. But suddenly he felt panic. His whole body trembled. What's happening? Where's the surrounding spiritual energy? The power of heaven and earth seemed to have vanished. Zion stood before him. Seeing this scene, he calmly said, Why aren't you continuing? By now he was sweating profusely from fear. I've never been this terrified before. Then he looked at Zion and demanded, Who exactly are you? Zion channeled a stream of spiritual energy in his hand and looked down at him. The pressure made him fall to his knees, both hands on the ground to support himself. He was shocked. His bones felt like they were shattering. The pain was indescribable. He still managed to ask, You have reached the deity transformation realm? It's terrifying. Only those at the deity transformation realm can control the spiritual energy of heaven and earth in this area. Hearing his question, Zion kindly answered, Your guess isn't wrong. If you had taken the wine and left, I might have spared your life. But those who want to harm my Shia family don't need to continue living. As he spoke, a surge of power rushed toward him. Feeling death approaching, he humbly said to Zion, I was blind not to see Mount Tai before me. Please don't kill me. I swear that once I leave here, I won't reveal anything at all. I also won't have any thoughts about the Zio clan anymore. I beg you. Zion heard his plea but felt no pity. If you don't have any useful information, then you can die now. Hearing there was still a chance, he gritted his teeth and thought about what kind of information he could offer, but he couldn't understand what was needed. Unwilling to give up, he shouted, You can't kill me. If you kill me, the people from Jinghong Palace will come to destroy you and the Zio clan. Hearing his meaningless words, Zion laughed loudly. Didn't you just say you have no mark on you? No one would know if you died here. Then he channeled another stream of spiritual energy into his hand. On Mount Chingan, Zio Chen's true self calmly controlled his puppet. He killed Chang Tianyu, and the system displayed a notification. Congratulations, you've received a top-grade, third-tier magical treasure, the Shannon flag. Having cleaned up thoroughly, Zio Chen's true self thought he had handled everything without leaving a trace. It was only a pity he couldn't obtain the two-stage magical treasure. Still, when the flag appeared in his hand, he smiled. This is a very good item. It can suppress souls and damage divine souls, a truly useful magical weapon. He laughed loudly. Looks like I'll have to tell the descendants to keep reproducing. Meanwhile, in a secret chamber of the Liang Kingdom's royal palace, someone knelt before a strangely shaped mirror. A voice echoed from within. My disciples in other countries are countless. They have all sent gifts already. Why haven't I seen anything from you yet? The kneeling figure replied, Master, I am working on it. In just a few days, I will bring Princess Weena of the Ming Kingdom. The person in the mirror urged, Hurry up. I still need to refine the Bayan Dan to break through to the next realm quickly. I've been stuck at the Da Tai transformation realm for too long. Yes, Master, he replied obediently. The figure in the mirror disappeared, and the kneeling man was revealed to be Yan Zhongking, Crown Prince of Liang Kingdom. Wiping sweat from his forehead, he muttered, Luina, just wait. I will surely destroy the Ming Kingdom. He had already sent many gifts, and the marriage should have been arranged, but no news had come. He waved his hand. Go investigate that useless Prince Gong of the Ming Kingdom. Find out exactly what he is doing. The man behind him clasped his hands. Your Highness, we can't contact Prince Gong. It seems he has gone missing. Yan Zhongking was startled. What? Then he shouted angrily, Everyone, prepare to go to the Ming Kingdom. At Ming Kingdom's Honglu Temple, the junior minister clasped his hands respectfully. May I ask what brings the crown prince here? Yan Zhongking arrogantly replied, I have sent many gifts to Ming Kingdom. When can I marry Princess Weena? The officials were stunned, their hesitation making Yan Zhongking even angrier. Didn't you hear me? Bring Weena here at once. I must speak with her personally. The officials answered nervously, Your Highness, we don't mean to hide anything. In truth, Princess Weena has already married someone else. Even the royal family only learned about it the next day. Veins bulged on Yan Zhongking's forehead. Did I mishear you? I, the dignified crown prince of Liang Kingdom, sent gifts to propose marriage, A matter that should have been smooth sailing, yet now the princess is married to someone else? He roared furiously. What are you saying? The officials stammered. Princess Weena was married the other day. We just learned about it as well. Enraged, he snapped. Don't give me excuses. I demand to see your emperor. At the imperial palace of Ming Kingdom, Yan Zhongking stood before the throne and shouted, I sent betrothal gifts and a proposal to Ming Kingdom. What is the meaning of this? The emperor replied calmly, Yesterday, she married someone else, a member of the Ming clan. The proposal and gifts would be returned in full. In his heart, he thought he had been confident nothing unexpected would happen. Yet the prize slipped away at the last moment. He shouted, demanding to know where Prince Gong was. Prince Gong had agreed to help him marry Princess Weena. The emperor of the Ming Kingdom raised his hand and said Prince Gong's whereabouts were currently unknown. No one knew where he had gone. If there was nothing else, he was asked to leave the Ming Kingdom. Seeing the emperor's attitude, he shouted angrily that he was the crown prince of the Lian Kingdom, and a weak emperor like him dared to order him around. If he didn't meet Princess Weena today, he threatened to bathe the palace in blood. The soldiers and officials of the Ming Kingdom murmured that he was a powerful cultivator who had reached the Golden Core realm, 5th level. They moved to protect the emperor. He used his spiritual energy to blow the soldiers away, then sneered, calling them weaklings and ordering them aside. The Ming emperor said angrily that although the Ming Kingdom was not as powerful as Lian, starting a conflict at will would bring consequences. He rushed toward the emperor, declaring he wanted to see Princess Weena or everyone would die. At that critical moment, Xiao appeared to shield the emperor. With one move, he sent Yan Zhang flying. Princess Weena anxiously ran to her father, asking if he was all right. The emperor replied he was fine. Looking at Xiao, she said this was her husband, and that it was their second day of marriage. According to custom, they were returning to the bride's family. Xiao clasped his hands and greeted his father-in-law. The officials thought to themselves that Princess Weena had brought her husband back. Yan Zhang, now kneeling on the ground with a twisted expression, looked at Princess Weena in shock. He couldn't stop marveling. It was the extreme yin and yang physique. Xiao possessed extreme yang, while Princess Weena carried extreme yin, a supreme yang body with extraordinary talent paired with an even rarer supreme yin physique. They were already married. If they cultivated together, their cultivation speed could increase tenfold. Presenting both of them to his master would be even more valuable than bringing only Princess Weena. These two together would make the perfect pair of gifts. He coughed and said Xiao had truly surprised him. He hadn't expected someone so young to have such strong cultivation. It was impressive. He pointed at Xiao and said the Ming Kingdom had done well not only breaking the engagement but also bullying and beating an envoy. Xiao replied fearlessly that an envoy who injured people in the royal court was the one provoking a war. Yan Zhang gritted his teeth, saying he wouldn't let the matter rest and that the Ming Kingdom had gone too far. He told them to just wait, then turned and left. The Ming Emperor was pleased, praising Weena for choosing a very good son-in-law. He said he was very satisfied with Xiao. The officials also praised him endlessly. Seeing her husband praised, Weena shyly embraced him. Xiao looked lovingly at his wife. "Father, I've seen it with my own eyes," he said. Yan Zhang stood before a mirror, clasping his hands. He said that based on the people reading technique he had been taught, he had discovered that Princess Weena and Xiao possessed extremely good physiques. The person in the mirror replied that it seemed to be heaven's will. He would send his senior disciple to capture the two. After saying this, he disappeared. Hearing he would receive support, Yan Zhang smiled slightly. Was it the invincible Golden Core Realm's senior brother? With his help, Xiao would surely lose this time. Nothing unexpected could be allowed to happen. In the forest behind Xiaoda, Zion was sitting under a waterfall cultivating when he received a notification. The descendants of Xiai cultivating in the realm map had suddenly recalled part of their previous life's memories. Zion's expression showed concern. Although Xiai was a reincarnated great power carrying memories from his previous life, there were sad memories as well, such as how he died and why he reincarnated, secrets yet to be revealed. Then Zion also disappeared at the waterfall. He had to see what memories this reincarnated great power had recalled in the realm map. Xiai was looking at his own hand, his face showing pain. Around him, waves surged. He closed his eyes in anguish. The image that appeared was of a young man lying on a bed. Though his body was strong and muscular, his expression was haggard. Beneath the bed was a basin of blood, flowing steadily from his body. A voice rang out, "You're quite tough. It's been 3 days and you're still not dead." The words came from a blue-haired girl. "But that's good too. I'll gouge out your chillin' soft bone and steal your azure dragon marrow. I'll extract your vermilion bird bloodline and transfer it all to my body." She caressed the young man's face. "To nurture it well, I need the dark warrior blood in your body to nourish it. The more blood you have, the higher the success rate. Don't die too easily, okay?" The young man's dry lips parted. "Why? I treated you with sincerity. Why are you doing this?" The girl calmly replied, "Yes." Suddenly, a strange figure appeared on the ground and answered, "Everything you have was given to you. The techniques you learned, all the opportunities you were arranged for them by her so you could reach your current level." The man on the bed spoke weakly. "Arranged for me? Why did it end up like this? I loved you so much." She turned her head toward him coldly. "I'm not in a good mood today. Don't say such nauseating things anymore. If I hadn't valued your talent and physique, how could I have nurtured you bit by bit, step by step?" Hearing this, tears finally fell from the man's eyes. It was all fake, wasn't it? How hateful. My sincere feelings only led to this outcome. I can't forgive you. I can't forgive. He slowly closed his eyes. Then a dazzling light appeared. Danger. That's the great Tao will. This guy unexpectedly has the great Tao will. What does this mean? Will it affect us? If we could seize it, our strength would increase greatly. But this great Tao will is tied to him. If it disappears with him, it will be very difficult to trace. Xiai finally opened his eyes, covered in sweat. This was what he had experienced in his previous life. He held his head, remembering how he had been betrayed and died so miserably. She was once someone he loved. He clutched his head, unable to accept it. Spiritual energy burst out of his body, and he fainted, sinking into the water. Zion witnessed everything. He closed his eyes, deep in thought. That woman named Soy, her words and actions clearly treated Xiai like a fruit to be nurtured, only to harvest at the end. A great power in the integration stage had become nothing more than a sweet fruit for others. The one who stole that achievement, what realm had they reached? Especially that man. Though he appeared in memory, his true strength could not be clearly seen. At the very least, it must have been integration stage or above. Zion frowned deeply. His current strength was still too weak. He had to quickly become stronger, otherwise the Xiao clan's descendants would find it difficult to avoid having their achievements stolen. Xiai thought to himself, "In my previous life, my love died. In this life, only hatred remains in my heart. You took everything from me, so what? I was originally invincible. How could I lack that innate talent?" He raised his hand to the sky and declared loudly, "In this life, even if I must go against heaven's will, I will reclaim justice for myself." Outside, Shouting Chen stood next to a tree. He saw a burst of spiritual energy. It was Xiaomai emerging. He clasped his hands respectfully and called out, "Great Ancestor!" With determination, he added, "Great Ancestor, I want to go on a journey to train." Hearing this, Sean's face remained calm. He closed his eyes and gently nodded. "This painting of rivers and mountains can no longer contain you. It's time for you to leave. This treasure can hold as many strong people as needed without issue. But the problem is, now that Xiaomai has remembered his past life, the will of heaven and earth in his body is not something this painting of rivers and mountains can control. Xiai patted his chest and smiled. Great ancestor, this time when I go out, I will surely make the Xia clan's name renowned, striking fear into others. Xion was startled upon hearing this. He patted his descendant's shoulder and said, "You should be more modest now. Concealing your strength is the wise thing to do in any circumstance. You must prioritize your own life." Then his face showed a hint of wickedness. The outside world is like a tiger stalking its prey, with countless people wanting to reap the fruits of others' labor. How can you parade your skills out there? One Xiao is enough already, and now there's Xiaoi too. I'm afraid the Xia clan will become a target for attacks from all sides. Hearing this, Xiaomai replied, "If that's the case, Mayor will follow great ancestors' advice." Xion nodded hurriedly, then presented a flag and a pair of boots, saying, "I'm giving you 2 more magical treasures. A top-grade 4th-tier treasure, the cloud-treading boots, and a top-grade 3rd-tier treasure, the Dark Yin flag." Xiaomai was moved to tears, feeling proud. Great ancestor treats me so well. He's worried I won't be able to outrun enemies, so he's giving me treasures to increase my speed. He immediately knelt down and bowed, thanking the great ancestor. Xion smiled kindly. With these 2 treasures, no matter what danger you encounter in the future, you'll always be able to escape in time. This is the most important thing. The system displayed a notification. Enemy detected approaching Xiao clan. Initiating choice selection. Please choose. Choice 1. Attack decisively, overwhelm the enemy. Reward. A top-grade 4th-tier treasure, the Frost Collar. Choice 2. Let Xiai handle it. Reward. A top-grade 3rd-tier treasure, the Frost Ring of the Outer Heavens. He glanced at Xiai. Go out through the main gate. Xiai obeyed the great ancestor and went through the main gate. At that moment, someone outside the Xia clan was shouting loudly, "Call Xiao out here." Xiaoi approached from behind and asked, "What do you want with my brother?" The man replied, "The business of Jinghong Palace is not for others to question." The speaker was Chenwen. Xiai raised his eyebrows at the mention of Jinghong Palace. He thought of sushi. Jinghong Palace had some impressions in his memory. It was an organization founded by sushi specializing in nurturing geniuses. Xiai walked past him, saying over his shoulder, "I know where my brother is. Follow me." When he had led Chenwen to a secluded area behind the mountain, he hurriedly asked, "Where is Xiao?" Xiaomai looked into the distance. "Do you know where this is?" Chenwen arrogantly replied, "What does it matter to me where this is?" Xiai spoke softly, "This place is where I once died." The 2 stood on a rock. Below was a deep, large pit. Looking down, he thought, "It was here that I was bound tightly, had my bones hollowed, marrow sucked, tendons and blood taken." To destroy the evidence, they demolished the entire mountain. Hearing Xiai speak thus, Chenwen turned to leave. "He's truly mad." Xiai spoke up. "Is sushi still at Jinghong Palace?" Chenwen froze upon hearing this question. Then he turned and shouted, "How dare you directly name our sect's great ancestor? Who exactly are you?" He gritted his teeth and glared. "The great ancestor's name is known only to high-ranking members of our sect." Xiai glanced at him lightly. "Is Jinghong Palace still up to those dirty tricks? Searching for geniuses across the world, sending them to Jinghong Palace to suffer inhumane and miserable torment." Hearing Xiaomai's words, Chenwen was shocked. He didn't bother to argue but released spiritual energy in the form of black dragons rushing toward Xiaomai. Watching the black dragons charge at him, he smiled treacherously. After the dust settled and Xiai was nowhere to be seen, he said, "Blown to bits. Nothing left. What a piece of trash." Then he immediately turned around, but behind him stood Xiaoi, tall with his hands clasped behind his back. This left Chenwen momentarily stunned. How is this possible? Shai's face remained indifferent. What do you want with Xia? Chenwen didn't answer but immediately attacked again. Stop playing tricks on me, you piece of trash. You've just reached Golden Core. How dare you compare yourself to a genius like me? Dream on. That attack caused a loud explosion. Chenwen cursed, what trash? Xiaomai appeared again, calm as ever, still saying nothing. Chen's face turned pale with fear. Seeing Shai unharmed, he trembled. How is this possible? Shai smiled lightly. I wonder if you've ever heard this saying, I'm unbeatable at my own level in battles across levels, it's 1 for 1. Chenwen lowered his head. Our sect once had a talent not only highly gifted, but also with formidable strength. It's a pity he took the wrong path and fell into demonic ways, getting expelled from the sect. Hearing this, Xiaomai crossed his arms and gritted his teeth. Such slander is ridiculous. I am the talent you speak of, he sneered. Upon hearing this, is something wrong with your head? That's a story from long ago. Moreover, that person is already dead. Xiaomai pointed to the sky. Using the will of heaven and earth, a stream of spiritual energy sent him flying, causing him to stumble backwards, clutching his chest. He trembled in fear. His body seemed to have developed a major problem. All meridians in his body were severed. Every muscle felt as if it had been torn. His Danon was in chaos. How could this be? Beads of sweat dotted his forehead as he looked at Xiaomai. How can you be? He thought to himself. I possess 9th level Golden Core strength. Moreover, I'm a genius in the sect. Basically, no one at the Golden Core realm can match me. Only before death did I realize there's always a higher mountain. Shai also felt something wasn't right with himself. This one move had exhausted all his energy. Golden Core level 1 facing Golden Core level 9 still posed some difficulty. If it were his previous life's body, it wouldn't have been a problem at all. Chenwen now lay dead on the ground. Shai stepped forward to search his body. He only found a token and some spirit stones, nothing else. Then he summoned a flame to destroy the corpse, erasing all traces. People from Jinghong Palace had come looking for Xiao. It's likely not a good thing. For now it's best to observe quietly and also possibly find more information about the organization. Next he returned to Ruo City to find a temporary rest place. The Crown Prince of Leon Kingdom was worried. He still hadn't found that disciple. The next plan will be difficult to execute. The only way left was to actively contact the other party through this token. That way he could determine the other party's location based on the aura on the token. That senior brother should be around here. The Crown Prince of Lang Kingdom walked slowly down the street, entering an inn. I thought this senior brother is known as the top Golden Core cultivator. I've never met him, so I don't know what kind of personality he has, bargaining in like this. He wondered if, before he could finish his thought, a voice from inside called out, "Come in." He thought to himself, as expected of a talented individual. It seems he had already sensed my presence. He entered and said loudly, "Greetings, senior brother." The person sitting inside was none other than Xiai. Xiaomai felt a bit puzzled. "Senior brother, could this be the junior of the person from earlier? I sensed someone was looking for me. I knew someone would come knocking," Xiai spoke up. "Who are you?" The Crown Prince of Lang Kingdom Yan Zhenken clasped his hand. "This humble one, Yan Zhenan, is a fellow disciple of yours, especially here to welcome you." He wondered, what does he want from me, thinking to himself. Asking like this is too obvious. I asked instinctively, I should add something. I was worried someone might be impersonating, so I asked carefully my real purpose for coming here. The Crown Prince of Leon Kingdom anxiously replied, "Of course it's to capture Xia Hu and Princess Wua, to bring them back as a gift for the master." Hearing this, Shai became angry. Chenwen was looking for Huo probably for the same reason. Bringing them back as a gift might lead to the same fate as mine. This Jinghong Palace is really despicable, unable to change its vicious ways. Yan Zhenken continued. Senior brother, what are you thinking about? Xiaomai took out the token. I'll just take out this token to make him more certain of my identity, he said. Do you have any plans? Seeing the token, he became even more convinced. Senior brother, I have many insiders in Ming Kingdom, including someone with royal bloodline who can help us. Today we might as well join forces with them to rebel and completely take control of Ming Kingdom. Then Lian Kingdom will expand, invading Ming Kingdom's territory. All the talented individuals in Ming Kingdom will be at our disposal. He timidly asked, Senior brother, what do you think of this plan? Xiai sat calmly. It's not bad. Go prepare. Today we'll take control of Ming Kingdom. Yan Zhenken clasped his hands and left. In another room, a scene unsuitable for young viewers was unfolding. The occupants of that room were none other than Xiao and Princess Weena. Xiao said, The clan hopes we can maintain the lineage, urging us quite urgently. It seems to be an order from the old ancestor. Princess Weeho shyly replied, I'll follow your lead in everything. Suddenly, Xia Hu looked at his hand. However, I feel that after each time we finish, my strength increases, or am I overthinking it? The room door suddenly opened and something like an envelope flew in. Xiao immediately caught it with 2 fingers. It was indeed a letter. He opened it and read. His face showed a bit of shock. Is this real or fake? Who sent this? He hurried outside to check, but found no trace of anyone. He couldn't find any clues on the envelope either. In the Imperial Palace, there was loud laughter. Great! Finally, we have a chance to overthrow that old dog emperor. He stood before a group of soldiers, laughing loudly. The entire Ming Kingdom from now on will have to obey my orders. Thinking of the emperor's princesses makes me extremely eager. Standing outside a room, he wondered, is it not time yet? Why can't I see anyone? It can't be. We agreed on this time. Why haven't our people arrived yet? Or did we come to the wrong place? A place without soldiers, how can we rebel? Yan Zhenken's face darkened. Go find people for me immediately. I don't care how you do it, but you must gather sufficient troops. A voice echoed from behind. No need to search. Your people won't be coming. Xia Hu slowly approached, causing Yan Zhenin to wonder, why is it you? Xia Hu smiled lightly. Your plan has been exposed. Your army has already been dealt with. To be precise, only you people are left now. Hearing this, Yan Zhenin clenched his fists. Xiao looked at him. Want to run? Can you escape outside the palace? He said, Xiao, I'll give you a chance. If you let me go, Lian Kingdom will gift you spirit pills and treasures. What do you think? Xiao Ho didn't care about his words. I think I'm the one giving you a chance. Yan Zhen can remain stubborn. I am the crown prince of Lian Kingdom. Do you really want to start a war? Xiao smiled. So what if it's war? I've never been afraid. Yan Junin felt anxious inside. Senior brother hasn't appeared yet. How long do I have to wait? Xiaomai slowly appeared at this time, wearing a mask. Xiao didn't recognize him because of it, but he sensed a strangely familiar feeling. Seeing Xiaomai arrive, Yan Zhenin smiled arrogantly. Haha, Xiao, you're scared now, aren't you? This is my senior brother. He's at the 9th level of Golden Core, and he's an unparalleled genius known as the Invincible Golden Core. You're no match for him. Xia Wahoo raised his sword. 9th level of Golden Core, huh? Better to kill wrong than to let escape. Yan Zhen became angry. Senior brother, this is the person my master and I mentioned. Capturing him and Lai Wuya will double our cultivation results. Suddenly a sword was placed against his neck, silencing him instantly. The one holding the sword was none other than Xiai. The person he thought was his senior brother left him no time to deny. Xiai only said 2 words, die now. Seeing this, Xia Hu's mouth formed an O shape. You are? Xiai finally took off his mask. Uncle Huo, you didn't even recognize me. Huo smiled with his hands on his hips. So it's you. But why are you here? Xiaomai recounted the whole process. Which means that behind this guy, there's an even larger organization specializing in hunting and killing geniuses. Xiao stepped toward his nephew. That's right. So Uncle must be careful. Not just Uncle's wife has also caught their attention. Xiaomai thought to himself, I've already destroyed this guy's body and traces, so probably no one will discover it. But Uncle Huo should still be careful. The next day at the Xia family, a loud call came from inside a room. Father, Shai clasped his hands to Xin. This is a letter from Huo. It also has a secret seal that requires Father to read it personally. After reading Xiao's letter, he thought, indeed, it's as expected. She was curious about what Father wrote in the letter. Xion turned and left. It's nothing. Just urging the Xia family's young men to cultivate diligently, and telling them to seize the time to have children. A year later, in the back mountain of the Xia family, Xiao Chen sat in cultivation when the system appeared. It detected that the host's descendants had reached 3,000. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward of Hoi's bow, the system announced. It was a second-tier, top-grade magical treasure. Having numerous descendants was indeed a difficult task, but finally the number of 3,000 had been achieved. Looking at the reward, Xiao Chen noted that the bow could lock onto a target's position with 100% accuracy. It could even amplify the user's strength to create double the attacking power. Truly, it was a great treasure. He smiled. Now, there was no need to hesitate about killing anyone. The system then displayed information. Name, Xiaowiwo. Race, human. Cultivation technique, 9 flying dragon swords. Sword technique, alchemy technique. World's best soul-destroying sword. Infinite devil transformation. 13 sword god throne. Heaven blessing Buddha. Treasured sword azure dragon. Mysterious origin, John Yu Fang Pearl. Cultivation, Yunying Stage 2. Talent, 6-star Spirit Route. Identity, Master of Taining Tower, Leader of 36 sects in Ming Kingdom. Special Destiny, Destiny of the Flame Emperor. Xiao Chen nodded after hearing Xiaowiwo's progress. Not bad, not bad. His training outside has indeed progressed very quickly. In just 1 year, he leapt from Golden Core Stage 9 to the Yunying realm. The system displayed another notification. Grandson Xia has successfully killed 3 spies of the Jinghong Palace. He has step by step uncovered the secret agents of Lian Kingdom and eliminated them. He also sent troops to help Ming Kingdom fight, causing the Liang Kingdom's army to suffer a crushing defeat. Grandson Xia killed a genius of the Jinghong Palace and obtained their secret map. Xiao Chen reflected. These consecutive actions had drawn the attention of many within the Jinghong Palace. The more they suppressed him, the stronger he became. Curious about how Xia was doing, he raised his hand to the system and smiled mischievously. The system displayed another entry. Name, Xia Mai. Race, human. Talent, 6-star Spirit Route. Cultivation technique, Dragon Yang Sword Blood. Destiny, Divine Sword Mysterious Yang, 1 Sword Spirit, Mountain Forming Primordial Void. Cultivation, Golden Core Stage 1. Special Identity, Reincarnated Powerful Being, Fusion Period, Awakened Innate Physique, Possessor of Heaven and Earth's Will. It continued. Great-grandson Xiai entered Jing Mountain, concealing his identity and cultivating at a branch of the Jinghong Palace. He has killed a total of 10 enemies. Great-grandson Xiaomai rescued the genius Yan at Jing Mountain, a youth with the heavenly yang physique, and helped him escape. Great-grandson Xiai also rescued a genius at Feng in Jing Mountain, a youth possessing a dual spirit route, and helped him escape. Great-grandson Xiaoi. A series of notifications kept appearing. Xiao Chen stroked his chin, smiling calmly and confidently. Taking action secretly while killing enemies was very good. They had remembered his instructions to act discreetly. At that moment, she walked over with his cane. "Father, Huo has sent another letter. This time he included a structural map of a hidden treasure. Please take a look." Xiao Chen immediately took the letter and read. It stated that Huo had accidentally obtained a treasure map rumored to have existed for thousands of years. It was the place where the top expert, Yuan Ming Emperor, had drawn his last breath. Within it were countless treasures, rare cultivation techniques, precious elixirs, magical treasures, and celestial artifacts. Huo, being occupied, respectfully asked for great-grandfather's decision on whether Xia should be sent to search for the treasure. So it's the treasure trove of Yuan Ming, located at the border between Ming Kingdom and Lian Kingdom, Xiao Chen thought. Shai turned to his father. "This is a good opportunity. Should we go search for the treasure?" Xiao Chen considered. Yuan Ming had been a top expert with formidable strength. If they could obtain those treasures, it would elevate the Xia family to a new level. The system suddenly displayed a notification. Opportunity detected. Initiating 10 choices. Choice 1. Develop the Xia family by searching for the treasure. Reward: Fertility River. Choice 2. Decline the selection to avoid danger. Reward: a 4th grade low-level magical treasure. Xiao Chen was surprised. Why was he being asked to choose now? What danger was involved? Still, this was an opportunity to ease conflicts for the Xia family. "Go," he instructed. The subordinate respectfully answered, "Yes, I will prepare immediately," and walked away leaning on his cane. At that moment, Xiao Chen received the reward, Fertility River Basic Level. Drinking from it increased the pregnancy rate on that day by 10%. His face lit up with delight. Good stuff. From now on, daughters-in-law and granddaughters-in-law will drink a cup every day. The success rate of producing heirs would increase, wouldn't it? At this moment, the weather outside was beautiful blue sky, white clouds, golden sunlight. A notice was posted stating that a huge treasure of Jinghong Palace was recruiting strong cultivators to search for the treasure together. People whispered among themselves. They had heard the treasure was located at the border between the Ming Kingdom and the Lian Kingdom, belonging to a great expert of the realm of questioning destiny. The journey would certainly be dangerous. They wondered where Jinghong Palace came from and why they wanted to share the benefits. Someone explained that Jinghong Palace had an excellent reputation in the Lian Kingdom, and had even helped poor commoners enter the path of immortal cultivation and defy fate. The crowd urged each other to go sign up. Some lamented that if they were a few decades younger, they might have had a chance to pursue cultivation. Others admired the young people whose future looked bright, saying that even seeing the burial place of the treasure would make life worth living. A young man holding a paper smiled brightly, pleased that Jinghong Palace had announced that anyone who recommended a talented person who was then selected would receive an elixir to help enter the realm of cultivation. The crowd buzzed with excitement, eager to find talented candidates. Someone mentioned the young Xiao Chen from the Xiao family might qualify. At this moment, within the Xiao family, descendants bowed to Xiao Chen, asking whether the treasure site mentioned by Jinghong Palace matched the location on their treasure map. The locations were similar, making it seem they had been set up. Hua had likely fallen for the trap, but the map itself was genuine. They wondered why Jinghong Palace had been recruiting talents for so many years and whether they truly intended to share the treasure. Xiao Chen snorted lightly. Jinghong Palace simply wanted to cultivate their own gains. A dog couldn't change its habit of burying bones. But it didn't matter as long as they focused on themselves. With Jinghong Palace acting so arrogantly, other sects would surely come as well. If they all shared the treasure, there would be nothing to worry about. The descendants bowed in agreement. Suddenly, someone rushed in reporting that people from Jinghong Palace had arrived and wanted to meet. Surprised, they noted that Jinghong Palace had approached them proactively. Xiao Chen smiled calmly and told them to see what their intentions were, reminding them not to provoke any conflict. He thought to himself that Xiao Mai was a reincarnated great expert, and the couple who killed the boy Tuvi were not inferior either. Jinghong Palace couldn't confront them now and could only endure. He immediately ordered the finest Xiao family tea to be served,